What is up, everybody? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 28 of Sandlot Gaming's Dungeons and Dragons. We are playing 5th edition, and we are using the Tomb of Annihilation module. We are currently in the city of Omu, trying to figure out what is causing the death curse. We think it's something called a soulmonger that is held by a lich of some kind somewhere around here. This is a tough module. We have lost several characters already and are running out of ways to introduce more characters to the module. But that said, let's jump into it here. Where we left off last time, we were in a temple there. Actually, we'll do a recap. But in our party, we have a bard, we have a warlock, we have a rogue, a wizard, and a fighter. So let's jump into the chat and see what everybody's talking about here, and we'll get this thing on the road.
Then it's good, right? Because I remember what I wanted to do. Although I don't know if the group will want to do it.
I nailed that intro, just saying.
All right.
Okay.
Right,
so you killed it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no MVP this week.
Shit, I was going to vote Wednesday. God damn it.
That's very us.
There were 2 votes, weren't there?
No, there were.
Not for more. Yes, there were 2 votes.
There were 2 votes opposed to each other.
Oh.
Yes. You want to change your vote?
Wait, let me guess who voted. Hillers and Merrill.
Yes,
Was that right?
sure.
Oh man, I nailed that.
I also voted that we should try to change the name of the group because there's only one of us that's ever been to Tressendar at this point.
I am offering real estate investment opportunity.
Yeah, we caught that part.
We're like the Temptations now that are touring. It's like there's only like one that's still the original.
Only one original.
All right, Meryl. So I'm gonna nominate.
Name.
Since Andy doesn't seem to be at his computer at the moment, I'm gonna nominate you, Meryl, to recap last week. I was gonna give it to Andy, given the amazing shot in his intro, but
yeah. So not a ton happened last week. There was a lot of backstory that we had to get through, but it started out with getting rid of the bodies that were just completely demolished by the clay golems 2 sessions ago. And they decided to do that by hucking us off a cliff into the lava, but first picking our pockets and taking all the loot they could.
Including the tattered remains of Dr. Squeaks.
Including that, which I totally get, and R.I.P. Dr. Squeaks. Then came across some guys at a campfire who they engaged in conversation with, the 3 remaining party members, that is. And turns out they were evil worshippers of undead things. And combat ensued, as it always does whenever we try to, just kind of talk to people.
Yeah.
And
diplomacy equals bad.
As the combat was happening, 2 additional characters came into play, jumped in on the side of the remaining party members to take out the cultists of Orcus, which is what it turned out those guys were at the fire. Killed them. Turns out those characters were Gordon and Dorbin, the 2 newest party members to our group. From there, they had a campfire, sang Kumbaya, told stories, and got to know each other, spent the night together. We'll leave it there. And woke up the next day and moved on with their mission as they figured out they were kind of on the same... kind of looking to do the same thing, looking to accomplish the same goal. So decided not to go back to the clay golem temple, which was the temple of... who was that? I forget. Shigambi. Figured let's pass that one by for now.
Commandant.
Yeah, and we came across the temple. It was a new temple where it said... God, I didn't pull my notes up, but it was basically about taking the path less traveled or less... What was it?
Ejin, the Almiraj.
Almiraj.
Yep. Doing
Taking
well.
the path less. I told you, I thought about it this week, like more than I should have, considering other events.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were advised to take the path less expected.
Less expected. That's right. And we opened the temple to find a tiled floor with different animals on each tile, or different, figures on each tile, which we see in front of us now.
Oh, cool.
And we have to figure out. We think we have to figure out how to get across that.
All right.
Yeah, and so you guys are in. This is a just to recap, kind of. This is pretty close to the entrance to the shrine. It is a 10-foot wide hallway. Heads back quite a ways into the darkness, and you see these carved tiles depicting various beasts decorating the floor. So I've got you guys kind of down at the bottom. You're not actually like that. I've just kind of queued you up like that.
Sure.
But based upon the order you walked in at, it's basically you walked in from the order from leftmost to rightmost. But you guys can be about 2 abreast. So
Okay.
Jason and Gordon could be right next to each other right now if they so chose.
Okay. I spread my arms out in front of everybody and I go, now hold on. I have seen something like this before. Jason, take my rope and tie it around your waist. And I toss my rope to Jason.
Trying to decide whether to do that or not. That's
Well, keep in mind, is Jason doing it, not Hillers?
that's what has me so. I mean, my Hiller's reaction is very clear to this. Shove so many things up his ass that it would explode. But
I think you should make it. Whoa.
no,
I think
Jason,
there should be a universal roleplay check that we have to roll to see if it's something that our character would do or we would do.
no. Jason will, assuming that he has some wizardly insight, tie the rope
No. You
around
see,
his waist.
if you get the stock, we pull on the rope and you come right back.
Yeah,
So
no,
you-
I get the idea. Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
Hillers,
That's,
how
it
about
makes a
this?
lot of sense.
Hillers, here's what I would suggest is I would suggest that Jason make an insight check. So this is one of the mechanisms you can do to say like, and Jason's not choosing to do this. This is more
Well,
Hiller's
no,
choosing to do it.
but I mean, okay, I don't know where to draw the line between us, but one of us has an idea about what to do here, and a rope would not interfere with it one way or another. So
Yeah. So can we recap the other thing? The other thing we kind of left out of the recap is
a 4. Okay,
4.
so rope goes on.
And so an insight check would just really tell you, is Zigmundo fucking with you or not?
Oh, is he fucking with me?
you don't
Yes,
know.
sir.
Doesn't look like it.
It seems legit to me. Okay then.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. This is a very bad idea. Please take rope off.
I do have an idea for the puzzle. If anyone.
So before we get into that, the thing, remember the story that Orvex told us last week, just to recap, was that Obolaka the Zorbo wanted to make a stew for Ubtao with all of the values of, it was either Chult or Omu in it, I forget. And so he went around and asked for help getting it, and Ejin was one of the things that he asked for help, and Ejin ruined it by putting recklessness in it, which Ejin thought was a value. That made Ubtao spit it out and hate the stew, and now Zorbo and Ejin don't like each other. Is that right? And Ejin is a Almiraj. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. That's
So,
correct.
do we want to ask what an Almiraj is? And do we want to ask what a Zorbo is?
An Almiraj is a bunny with a horn on it.
How do you know that?
We were told.
By who?
It had like either Orvex or somebody. The rabbit thing that went there, that was supposed to be like the spirit creature of the temple.
So we think this is Almiraj's temple, and Almiraj is the rabbit with the horn on it.
It's a rabbit. It's like a rabbit, horn rabbit,
Okay.
horny rabbit.
All rabbits are horny. I mean, that we know.
Right.
Andy, you're muted if you're talking.
Sorry, probably this.
So,
Yeah. So here's my thought. The path least expected is that we don't step on any of these tiles. I would ask if Squawk would be willing to just fly over this and see what happens.
Well, I mean that's fine. Like I can do that, but what does that do for the party? Like the party can't get across then.
Well,
Is this
we have a
just a
we have
one
a
hallway,
clear
or is there
spider
anything
climb.
else in the hallway? Does the hallway bend, or is this just it? There's just one room.
So the hallway extends back. Give me a moment here.
I've got a backup theory if that doesn't
It
work.
extends back about 30 or so feet and into the darkness. It's a little bit tough to see at the end. Go ahead and make a perception check, Squawk.
Sure.
And actually make this with disadvantage because it's pretty dark.
Disadvantage.
Oh, my roll 20 is locked up.
It's a 9 and it's 23, but my perception is 19.
Okay.
My standard is 19.
It doesn't seem to turn. It kind of ends in the darkness, and you're not really sure where it goes from there.
Okay, I cast dancing lights to go down the hallway.
Okay, so you see the lights go down to the end, and now you can see that at the end of the hallway, which again I'm going to say about 30 to 40 feet. Unfortunately, roll 20 is locked up, so I'm going to have to refresh.
That's fine.
Around at that point, it's a T intersection. You see openings go off to the left and the right.
Okay, and this ends, right? The tile section ends after what, 10 tiles?
The tile section ends after what you see here.
Okay. Okay. We only one way to find out, and I mean, I'll fly across if we want. I think that'll be fine. I think flying across will be fine, but the party can't fly across.
We have Zygmunda's spider climb staff though.
This is true.
Okay.
Right? So we could go on the walls or the ceiling.
Okay. I try to fly. I will spread my wings and try to fly, and as the party suggests, fly across the floor.
Okay.
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling's about 20 feet. You've got some
Excellent.
headroom.
Okay. Yeah, I'm at like 10 feet. I'm gonna try to fly in the middle of the.
Okay. So you fly to the end of the hallway, and well, not to the end of the hallway, to past the tiles, and you land, and there you are.
And he's
Okay.
safe?
That's. And again, is there anything else of note that I pick up on, like any kind of? Am I able to perceive what would happen? Any kind of like traps in between the panel on the? As I fly back to the party, I would like to try to get an idea.
Oh, so you fly back to the entrance?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check. To spot for traps as you fly.
Okay. With advantage or disadvantage, or just regular?
No, just regular. The disadvantage from before was only because you were trying to see the end of a hallway that was too dark.
Okay. I'm trying to think if. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Perception. Okay. I don't know if we'll see what you say. What the roll is that. Okay. That's the 30. I rolled 13.
Okay. Give me a moment. Sorry, I'm just getting loaded back into Roll20 here.
So, by the rules, I would think that would actually make an investigation check because I'm actually looking for specific kinds of where potential trips would be. Like, I'm not trying to just generally look. I'm trying to see what the. Well,
So
I mean, investigation would
yeah.
actually hurt me more. So.
Well, investigation is more like I'm looking at this specific area. The perception is like
Okay.
is more general.
Okay.
And
Cool.
so in this case, you do see that there are a number of holes along the walls at varying heights that look like the kind of thing that would probably be trap related.
Okay. And as I'm flying back, is it staggered or are they parallel to each other?
They're on both walls. Do you mean do they align on both sides?
Yes. Do they align on both sides?
They do not.
Okay. So okay. And I just wanted to make a note of where those holes are, where the holes are that I can see.
Oh, you see a lot, dozens.
Okay. But is it like on the right side is for the first panel, the left side is for the left side? Like the left side's for the second panel?
No, there's more than one. Like okay, so how many? You see 50 or more on each side.
Okay, so it's not like you can
all over.
Okay, yeah, okay. Having your back, like putting a shield up, wouldn't protect you because you would get hit by the back. Like there's enough close to each other that.
I mean, I don't know. That's where you decide, but there's a lot.
Okay.
Sounds like all over.
Okay. Okay. So I was fine, and it looks like there are traps on the sides of the walls. So whatever we're going to do, we need to make sure that we don't get that if we step on the wrong panel, that we're gonna get we're gonna have we're gonna be a bunch of priests because we're gonna be holy.
Well,
How many?
Go ahead.
You mentioned a Misty Step spell. How many people can Misty Step? Or I mean, not Misty Step, Spider Climb. How many people can Spider Climb across this?
10 people.
Oh,
All of us.
that would be all of us.
I can also disarm traps.
All of them?
Probably not this kind of.
Seems like a lot.
I could do it at distance with Mage Hand too, so if it doesn't...
We could try for one and see what happens.
How about this?
We need to see what the trap is.
I think that the least expected path is the one that's not on the floor at all. And
what do we know about this floor?
And I would ask Zygmundo to cast Spider Climb on me from his wand.
Yeah, get all creepy 8-leggy. Boom, and I spider climb him.
All right. So then I would walk, not on any tile, crawl up the wall, up to the ceiling, and walk across.
Along
entire
the ceiling?
tile. Yeah.
Okay, so you walk, creeping along to the end, and as you're going, you see like spider webs and cobwebs are just getting trapped in your feet, and you're having to kick all that crap away. But as you walk, you don't notice anything strange, and you get further down the hallway past all of the animal tiles.
And then I would just walk down the wall and onto the floor past the tiles.
Okay, and you don't you do that, and nothing happens.
So he's on the other side.
Are you excited about that?
Yeah.
I won't say I'm a genius, but
Jason is on the other side.
I'm not dead. I'm not in a lava pit.
How far is it across the tiles? About? Those are 5 feet each? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zygmundo. Thank you.
Do we
Much
want to cross
appreciated.
these?
Why not?
Why would you
All right.
walk across them when I've
Andy,
demonstrated?
Gordon, Gordon, and Zig.
Yeah. Everybody choose.
Who wants to go next?
Squawk,
Well,
since you made it.
I would ask here, what do we know about this temple and these symbols? Looking maybe towards
Yeah, what is a Zorbo?
I mean, we're trying to we're trying to cross something we
Ask
don't know.
Orvex what a Zorbo is.
So
I don't know. What's Zorba with you?
Oh my god.
So Orvex
You're like that.
Not
Orvex tells you that a Zorbo is it's a relatively small omnivore that tends to be pretty ferocious, can be dangerous.
like a badger?
He describes it, the way he describes it sounds like what we humans would understand to be a koala. And it lives in trees and caves, has long claws, and a fondness for
that looks
human
like
flesh.
Koalas
a
eat
dwarf.
eucalyptus
That's a
dry.
dwarf.
They're not
I know. He looked like they like describes it visually kind of like a koala.
They are notoriously grumpy.
Yeah.
Does it look like any of these
That might be true,
tiles?
I don't know.
Are any of these tiles a Zorbo?
What do you think?
I'm asking. I'm not thinking. I don't
Ask
think.
Orvex.
I'm asking.
Whoa,
That's who I'm
where you
asking. I'm asking Orvex. Do any of these tiles look like a Zorbo?
He rolled for it. Nice.
He says that he does not recognize any of these as being a Zorbo.
Thank you. Who's next to go across?
So, I'd like to ask him. And between the first and second row, do you see any relationship between these carvings?
Says what? I don't. I'm not quite sure what you're asking me.
Is there a relationship between our or potentially a hierarchy?
Higher.
Damn it! There's another dice.
He's you see him frantically copying the grid down into his notebook, and he's kind of moving his pen back and forth up and down. He's saying, "Well, there must be something, but I don't see it yet."
Jason will say, "Guys, come across the ceiling. It works. Fine. I'm alive here on the other side."
What is on the other side? Why are we trying to get over there?
The cubes. We're in a temple.
This is a tunnel that just continues past these?
Yeah,
Sorry
we
if I missed
entered
that
into the front
description.
door of a temple.
What do you see over there?
More temple.
Can you be more
you,
specific?
I really can't. I really can't.
So you see, you see two hallways extending in both directions, to your left and your right, both turning up to the north into the darkness.
I see those things.
Okay.
Spider me up, wizard man.
Yeah.
Let's not overthink it.
Spider me as well.
Kapow! And a bunch of stringy white goo hits you.
I roll with Dorbin.
Web.
Okay, so who's getting spider climbed?
He has been.
Dorbin, Gordon, and Zigmundo, or no?
Oh no!
Zigmundo.
He asked. I hit him with spider climb.
Just Gordon or Dorbin or Gordon or I'm confused by who got spider climbed.
Andy got spider climb.
So
Yeah.
Dorbin.
We're gonna be confused for the rest of our time here.
Oh, Gordon also wanted to get spider
Gordon.
climb, so he went.
And you have enough charges. And you have enough charges to do this.
Yeah, I just used 3 out of 10, so I have 7 left.
Okay. All right. So Dorbin and Gordon, what do you guys do?
I fly across again. I'm gonna fly back across and be with Jason.
Okay.
I high
flies
five.
across.
I high five Squawk.
He doesn't have
I
5.
Boy, on
I
my
high
character
3
sheet,
squad.
I've actually put a section for number of spider wand charges.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Dorbin, what do? You are spider climbable.
I spider climb across.
Okay. Gordon, what do you do?
I will follow along the path that Jason took and climb across as well.
So as you make it to the other end, Orbex looks over at Zigmundo nervously and says, "Well, just the two of us, I suppose. I mean, maybe we should stay on this side and guard the exit."
No offense, but from my experience, when we all separate, it's a bad thing.
That ends in the pit.
Here, take this rope to tie around your waist.
Do you really say that?
No,
That's his private joke that he tells everybody
Um,
because of the hilarious disembowelment of Steve Dark Magic.
okay. I am not going to tow him across. But I do turn to him and I say, did you happen to take very good note on which way they all went?
Oh, I was spending more time looking at the grid on the floor, to be honest.
I could probably shout at you from here. Just go on this ceiling. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So I used 2 charges. I spider wand him. I spider wand myself.
Okay.
And then I take care to travel in the footsteps of the rest of my party.
Okay. So you walk up and then along the ceiling, kind of feel the blood rush to your head as you're kind of hanging upside down. But you make it across. And Orvex does more slowly, but and he's clearly quite afraid. But he eventually arrives on the other side as well.
I just had a thought. Wizard Man, how many more casts of that spell do you have?
5.
Well, we got 6 people to get back across this thing.
One person can fly.
One person can fly.
Mm. The
So look
bird
at that.
power.
All right, let's
Don't
hurry.
worry. As long as we wait till sunrise the next morning, we're all good.
Took a
We should
long
know
rest
inside a
for you.
cave.
We're
We'll
being
just-
chased by monsters. Let's take a long
Just
rest.
sleep
So-
in the creepy temple.
We all passed it.
Okay.
I'm feeling thrilled with myself. That was a
So-
correct answer. So, like, what do we do next?
So all of you find yourselves in a at the end of the hallway, up against a wall, with this hallway extending to your left and to your right, and in both cases, if you have the tiles to your back, right? So assume the tiles are behind you. You're facing a wall, and there is a pathway to your left that curves around to the right, and a pathway to your right that curves around to the left.
Like a U shape.
Imagine it's like a T, right? That then it turns into a U. So it's the shrine as of right now. You can imagine it shaped like a football post.
Gotcha. Which way should we go?
Let's go to the right.
What's ever
Okay,
gone
let's go to
wrong
the right.
listening to a bird?
Lead the way.
Okay, Squawk. So are you going to the right?
Yes.
Okay.
I
And is
will-
everybody following him?
I will follow Squawk.
I will follow him at a tiny bit of a distance.
Well, hold on. I would love to look down using my dark vision down that hallway to see what's there.
Well, right now the hallway curves to the left. You can walk down the hallway to look around that corner to look further.
I would like to proceed cautiously down
Is
this
it-
hallway, looking out for traps.
How dark is it?
It is very dark.
Okay, can I keep?
No, the dancing lights are currently helping you within this part of the hallway.
I also have dark
Those last for I think a minute. Is that right?
Okay, I would just like to, I'll keep casting dancing lights as needed to provide light for us until we get to a better light source. Is that allowed to say?
Okay. Yep, and that's a cantrip, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Nice.
you can say that. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and Zig, just so you know, dark vision is very useful, but it does require that there's some amount of light.
Oh, we were talking about this is pitch black. This is no light.
Does my
Yeah, well,
Dancing
not
lights
anymore
provide-
because there's dancing lights.
Right, understood. Okay, thank you.
does my
But
dancing
just
lights
for the
provide
future.
with him enough light to be able to use dark vision?
More than enough. I mean, he doesn't need dark vision.
Okay.
Ooh. If we expend
vision-
all the charges of the spider staff, and he rolls a 1 on that last one, it's gone forever. Ugh.
Yeah, but safely to be told, we are coming upon dusk.
Okay. Yep.
How long does the spider spell last?
An hour.
Like an hour.
Well,
You
then I
guys
would.
aren't coming up on dusk. This is still like
Hey, winter
Lunchtime?
is always coming. You hear me, Troy?
We're always coming up on dust.
Well, we're
Then-
closer to dusk than we are dawn.
As we're moving, then I would like to be up on one of the walls, pretty high up near the ceiling.
okay. So that's fine. And it is
Oh,
pretty
that's
narrow.
odd.
So
still
where
Sorry,
you
guys,
are
we're
right
back.
now. So these tunnels, they're narrow enough that it's now one person abreast, right? So you can't be. You have to be single file now.
How tall are they?
The tunnel.
Yeah. What's the ceiling height?
Good question.
Thank you.
Does the ceiling open inward or outward, Troy?
The ceilings here are about 10 feet high.
Can I be up on the ceiling?
Yeah, you can.
You can dance on it.
If you want to, you can leave your
You have
cares
to leave your
behind.
friends behind.
Okay. So so I've got the order right now is Squawk, followed by Jason, followed by Dorban, I think.
Oh, what a feeling when you're walking on the ceiling.
Gordon, Zig, Orvex. Is that that the right order?
Sure. And then I'll go behind Orvex.
I can update it on your guys' side.
Can I actively be looking? I'm just trying to perceive what's going on around me, looking for traps as we're walking through.
Sure. So
And flying stealthily.
You're gonna try flying through here?
Is it? Well, I guess that's the question. Does
You can.
Can I?
You can. Well, you can try.
How, you say is one? Okay, well, actually, so it's one person. How? What can you once tell me again what the dimensions are?
Yeah. So it's maybe about 5 feet from wall to wall. So 5 feet wide.
Okay.
And 10 feet tall. So it's gonna be pretty cramped for you to fly, but you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna really be able to fly. I'm just arguing. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I can't do this. I don't want to go first.
And you were going first.
Jason want to use this opportunity to go first, or?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right. So let me update this order.
I can see everything.
So is this the correct order now?
Sure.
Okay.
I see what I want to see. I am Daredevil.
Okay.
I can also, by the way, I can also see through darkness as well.
So yeah, that's true. You can, yes.
Don't
But
clang
that's
any
not.
bells
But
on
to
me.
be clear, that's not dark vision. Dark vision
No.
doesn't mean you can see through darkness.
No, it's Devil's
That's where
Sight. It's an invocation. Yeah.
So darkness is more like you have it's like how a dog's sight or cat's sight works.
That's not how
Like-
dog sight works. Dogs can't see in the dark.
Or news.
They just can see with.
Sure, how do dogs see? They see.
But that's
They
but
send
that's the
out
way
a
dark.
sonic signal.
But that is also that's my point. Is that's the way dark vision works. Is dark vision is not a sonic signal. Dark
Okay.
vision requires there to be light.
Okay.
So if a dog couldn't see in it, then dark vision cannot see in it.
Okay.
So
But
imagine
the
this:
rule
dogs
is that
have dark
Jason
vision.
can see in it regardless. Because
As can Gordon.
Jason and Gordon have blind sight, which is something completely different.
Well,
Daredevil
Devil's
sight.
That was
Sight.
called true sight.
Daredevil sight.
I have Devil's Sight, which is a little different, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's better.
All right. Okay, so Jason, you are at the lead. So you start heading down the tunnel. It curves around at 90 degrees to your left.
Do we have
You can-
a map, or am I graphing paper this, or how does
If
it-
you're not getting a map, I have a map.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so it's a tunnel that curves. Yeah.
Yeah, to your left.
Okay.
Okay. You can
How-
look that direction.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
How far down does it go?
It goes down just another 10 feet or so, and then it's another T intersection going to the left and the right from there.
All right. I would like to approach the T intersection, carefully investigating for anything that looked like it might be pressurized, any holes on the wall, anything coming out of the ceiling, the full 360 view, just a careful walk down that hallway.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check, please.
Not my forte, but I do have a lot of hit points, so relying on that.
Okay. To your right, you see kind of a variation in the height of some of the stonework on the floor that looks suspicious to you, might indicate some sort of pressure plate.
Okay. I'd like to both avoid it and let the party know to cling left.
I'd like to attempt to disarm that pressure plate,
Okay. So you pass Squawk.
and I'd like to use it doing with my mage hand. So I can be at a distance.
Okay. So let me actually delete you guys from.
What is Legger Domain?
Ledger domain.
It's,
It means that it's in his bellywick. He is a mage hand.
That doesn't.
What is
Well,
bellywick?
Bellywick.
Mage hand expertise.
legerdemain's like skill, like skill of hands.
What is skill?
Manos, the hands of fate.
Okay, so Dorban, go ahead and
I just
Make
wanted
it,
to do this, guys. So
yeah, make a dexterity sleight of hand check. So you can do a just normal sleight of hand check.
If you fuck it up and I'm right next to it, I'm gonna kick your ass. Oh, you nailed it.
Okay.
Maybe.
So
No, that's a +9. Look at that. Dorban Boulevard. God, you are just a tongue twister.
Dude,
Yeah, so-
Dorban Belmorn, how hard is that?
so you
Oh, it's hard when there's another guy that sounds exactly the same as you.
so you use your mage hand to take a bit of you find a bit of scrap metal laying on the ground that looks like it belonged to one of the unused kind of sconces on the wall that maybe once had torches long ago. And you're able to use the mage hand to wedge that piece of metal underneath of one of the raised portions of that floor tile, and you tested a few times with the mage hand. It seems like it's pretty sturdy, and it'll prevent the pressure plate from activating.
I'll use the hand to usher them forward. I'd like to be in the back of the party. And can I stealth up? Maybe like 20 feet behind the party.
Well, you're now at the front of the party. Like,
I'm gonna let them go through. I want to let them.
okay, got it. Okay, so Jason, assuming you're still taking the lead,
Oof.
to your right is
Nice, very stealthy.
to your right is the pressure plate. To your left, you see a tunnel that goes about 5 feet to the left and then curves down to the south.
So I see nothing. I'm sorry, nothing to the
Oh,
right, and then
To the right is a pressure plate, and sorry, that's part of a tunnel that curves. You know, from the pressure plate, it then curves to the north and up.
from the pressure plate.
Mhm.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But it's disarmed. The pressure plate.
Dorban believes so.
Fuck.
Onward, my friend.
All right. I'll go to the right, and then
Okay.
up. Yeah.
So you step onto the tile to your right, and you kind of tap it a bit with your foot, and it feels sturdy. And then you step fully onto it, placing your complete weight onto it, and it holds. So you continue there, up one more to the north, and now you see that the tunnel extends about 10 feet to the west into a dead end.
A dead end.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll go back to where I started.
Okay, so you go down one south and then one west, and now you see a tunnel leading about 5 feet to the west that curves down to the
And
south.
then I'll go the other way. Again, carefully looking.
If I may interject, gentlemen, I have a torch. Does anyone have a way I may be able to light this torch?
Well, we got some dancing lights all over the place, so I didn't think to light one.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. So we can see because of the dancing lights?
You can see. You can see because of the dancing lights.
Okay, never mind then.
But I mean,
Nick is basically
sure,
casting a torch for all of it.
whatever blows your skirt up, but I saw these lights, so
Sorry, sorry about that.
yeah.
Okay, so you walk, Jason, one to the south, and now you see the tunnel extends to your west by about 5 feet, and then curves up to the north.
How far north does it go?
You peek your head around the corner, and it looks like it goes up 15 feet or so.
All right. I'd like to try to carefully investigate for traps at the intersection.
Okay, so go ahead and make a perception check.
God.
You don't see any.
All right. I'll head north.
Okay, so you walk along the tunnel, and you make it to the end of the tunnel, stepping on a few loose pieces of debris as you go, but nothing jumps out to grab you.
Okay.
At the end of the tunnel, that tunnel curves off to the right, and extends to your right for about 10 feet.
10 feet. Do I see any other like adjacent or perpendicular tunnels to that tunnel?
No, not yet.
Okay. I'd like to carefully move 5 feet at a time, looking at each step very closely to see if I can ascertain if there's any intersection down that tunnel.
Okay, so you make it about you go 10 feet, and then you see that this tunnel now curves to your left up to the north, and curves it goes about 10 more feet in that direction to the north, at which point that's another T intersection going to the left and to the right.
All right. I'd like to at this point go back to the party and lead them back to my current position.
Okay. So I assume everybody follows?
If they're willing to come.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So everybody, you navigate back. Yep, you should be able to do that fine. Okay, you navigate back. You get everybody, and
Why wouldn't we?
This whole thing has me super nervous. I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna fall into hell.
That was a good call. That was a good call to bring us back, to bring us up with you, Hillers. That was smart thinking.
Every step, I'm like, this is the step that's gonna fall me into hell. I mean, okay.
All right. So the part of the tunnel you're at now, Hillers, Jason sees a tunnel extending to his north by about 10 feet, and at the end of that tunnel, he sees the tunnel split into a T going to the left and to the right.
Okay, I'd like to proceed far enough up the northward tunnel so that I am approaching the intersection, but not yet in the crossroads.
Okay. You do so, and you're you only had to walk about 5 more feet to be approaching the intersection. So you're just shy of the intersection, and again you see the tunnel curving to the left. It looks like it might make a sharp turn to the south from there, from what you can tell, and it actually looks like in both cases, the left or the right then turns back to the south.
Just out of curiosity, how much time has passed since we started tonight?
Probably like 20
10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I was asking if Spider Climb was still on. That's all. They still had their Spider Climb. Is where I was going.
Good question. How long does that last?
An hour.
Yeah.
So either left or right, both tunnels seem to turn south from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How far are both tunnels? Like, is there a difference in length before they turn?
It's hard for you to tell because you're not actually even in the intersection yet. You're just kind of poking around.
All right.
So you can't look down those paths.
I will step into the intersection and move 1 square to the left.
Okay.
I am the night. I am shadows. I will not be sucked into hell by some random crap. This is how Steve died. This is why I'm so upset right now.
You don't have a rope
I think I might be the best player to go first because of my blind sight and hit points, but at the same time, this is how Steve died.
It's honestly, it's either you or Dorbin. I think Dorbin might be a good scout.
Digging around where he
There's a
doesn't
difference.
belong.
Steve was looking for loot. You're leading us to loot. There's a difference.
Is there though?
Okay, let's keep going.
Death doesn't care.
That doesn't care what your motivations are.
So Jason, as you step 1 to the west, you feel a click on the ground as the pressure plate depresses under your foot, and an axe swings out and barely nicks you along the back before ratcheting back up into the wall. You take 7 points of damage.
Whoa.
This is how Steve died. It's not a fight. It's just, you just die.
Nobody else saw that, by the way, but you did hear a distant...
Well, they would hear me going, ow!
Yeah.
Ow, there's an axe from the wall! Ow,
As he said that, I would move forward to him to along the ceiling, of course, but I would move towards that direction.
Okay, so you're right next to him.
Like behind him, but
you're behind him. Yeah. So Gordon, you see, you're facing Jason. You see the tunnel back to your party members to your left. Behind you, you see another tunnel that extends behind you, and then to the south. And in front of you, you see Jason bleeding, kind of checking out his wound. And then that tunnel extends to your left and then north.
You cut yourself shaving?
Oh, it super hurts. It's a lot of skin. That's not great. I don't like that. Oh, that feels bad. That feels like some percentage of bad. Hey.
So, is he off the tile now, or what's the?
He's still on the tile.
Maybe get off the tile.
Would that not be worse though? I don't even know. Is this like what?
Oh well, I guess I'm not there.
Okay, I guess
you can't stand there forever.
I can't stand there forever. I'll step one step further.
Did you guys see Kingsman: The Golden Circle?
Yeah.
Not the second one, no.
About half of
Take me home.
Yeah.
Country road.
Why is that relevant? Did someone die when that song came on? What happened?
Do you want to know?
Oh, I guess I'll find out. I already said I stepped one step.
No, Merlin stepped on a landmine at the end and started singing "Take Me Home, Country Road" to distract the guards, and they all came over to see him. And as soon as they did, he stepped off the mine and blew them all up. So.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, really.
I don't want to die though, so that's worse.
Hey, you
All
guys
right.
spoiler alert.
Which
like
which
a year
direction,
ago.
Yeah. Which direction did you step off of it, Jason? Your options are south or east.
South.
Okay. All right. So from here, Jason, so you step off of it and you can
Like, I don't like any of this.
you can feel the pressure plate reset itself and kind of meet itself back even on the rest of the stonework on the floor. You are from your perspective, you can now see a tunnel to your west and of course the tunnel to your north that you just came from. The tunnel to your west only goes about 5 feet and then seems to extend up to the north.
Okay. I guess I'll go one more block west and look to see how far it goes.
Okay. So it looks like so you walk a little bit to the west, and now as you look north, it seems to end in another dead end.
Okay.
Hey, Jason, do you want me to? Do you want me to?
You're not there. You're not there, Squawk. You cannot see him or talk to him.
My bad. Sorry.
I'd like to go back to the like the intersection. You know, if I'm reading your description right, I've been in a one-way tunnel for about 2 squares now. Is that right?
Yep. All right. So you head back to the intersection where Gordon is.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Hey. Other than that axe, which was really
That's not good.
bad.
Oh, watch out for that tile.
Yeah. Don't step on that. It's.
Okay. So as you make your way back to the intersection, you step on that tile again.
Oh no! I would. Oh no!
The axe swings out.
I just said watch out for the tile.
Hitting you
and I
for
thought I would have
13
remembered.
damage.
15.
13.
Oh no! I should have remembered. That's on me. That's just a dumb.
We rolled a nat 20 on that thing. Good God.
So you had 45 minus 13 equals 37? No, that's not right. 32.
Okay. So you guys are you're standing back on that tile again.
Anyone got like a salve or like an herb or something? This is So
Squawking
spiky.
Dorman, you'd be able to hear this.
Walking
'cause
through
it's
the
pretty
dark
close, but you
here.
can't-
It's so very unpleasant. We don't. Nothing says we have to be quiet.
I would advise you to not step on that tile anymore.
I will never step on that tile again.
Perhaps walk on the ceiling,
Oh yeah.
as I am.
Look at me. Yeah. That's such good advice that you had there. Okay. Yes. I will now crawl on the wall up to the ceiling and head to my east.
Okay. So you pass Gordon, and you now see a tunnel extending to your south about 10 feet and curving to the east.
All right. I will indicate that the party should follow me and head down the southward tunnel.
So the only person you can see right now is Gordon.
I'll tell Gordon and tell Gordon, pass it on, Gordon.
I will tell the party, I'll yell back, okay, let's move forward, but when you get to me, I'm going to ask you to stop.
Red light.
So assuming everybody's good with that, everybody moves up.
Yep.
To be as close to Gordon as they can.
Sounds
Jason, you and Gordon are now walking along the ceiling. Jason, you see the tunnel extending 10 feet to your south. I think you said you went down that direction.
Down that south, yeah.
But
Now you see.
well, are we following him at this point?
I would ask that you follow me about 15 feet behind me.
Might I suggest that we all walk on the ceiling as long as we can, because it does seem that the floor has traps.
Traps! Yes, it has traps. I can confirm traps.
So
God.
it's up to you guys, I guess, but
Why wasn't I walking on the ceiling? I feel like an idiot.
I'll jump up to the ceiling.
I feel like I'm now at 0 from having walked on the ceiling the first time and then not done it while I walked over traps many times.
All right, so Dorban, you're up on the ceiling.
I'm on the ceiling.
All right, Zig, and Orvex follows you, Zig, kind of
Can I- can I-
just mimicking what you do.
can I see any differentiation in that tile and the other tiles?
Make a perception check. Nope,
That wouldn't be investigation.
not in this case.
Okay.
Don't
How do
question
you-
Mr.
How do you even
Podad.
put your pants on in the morning with that kind of perception?
So investigation would be more like if you're just looking to see the difference, because you asked, can I see the difference? That's perception. If you wanted to like explore it,
Yeah, explore it. Poke it a while. Why don't you?
No, I'm good.
All
Okay.
right. So
All
I'm
right,
headed.
so-
I'm headed south. I thought you said.
yeah. Well, you reached the southern end of that tunnel, and now it extends about 5 feet to your east, and it appears to curve back to the north.
Okay. How carefully can I navigate this tunnel? Because that's what I would like to do. I would like to the maximum amount of caution on the ceiling.
Caution in what regard? Like looking for traps?
Yep. Exactly that regard.
Okay, well, make a perception check. Here's the thing: if you go really slowly, in this case, I'll give you advantage.
Super slow. 1. There's 2. 18.
Okay. So you spend another 10 minutes just painstakingly crawling 20 feet.
Not too
along
slow. We
the
don't have a
ceiling.
lot of spider climb left.
Oh yeah. If it's 20 minutes, we're pushing it.
We're down to like a half an hour or so, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you
All
get
right.
to.
I'll try to pick
you-
it up a bit.
Okay, so you get into that tunnel, and now, and so what's everybody else doing? Is everybody staying 15 feet away from him? Is that the plan?
I say
Or
we
is
all
that
follow
waiting for
him.
them to-
I mean,
I can work on trying to disarm him as he finds them.
As I find him with
ooh,
my body.
well then I would
as
like to
have been
point
doing.
Dorban at that trap at that tile that struck Jason.
Okay, Dorban.
Twice.
So,
I would ask
Twice.
everybody to
Like a
stand back.
moron.
all right,
and-
go ahead and make your sleight of hand check. Yep. Okay, so you're able to wedge another piece of rebar in there. And
I have thieves tools too to disarm.
Okay.
God,
And,
rogues are great.
Seems like
Wow, they are
seems like
cool.
it'll hold. Seems like it'll prevent pressure from depressing the plate.
And I would suggest that we follow Jason pretty closely since we're on the ceiling, and that gives me a certain level of confidence that we're not going to step on any tiles that would kill us.
That roll is my second wind. So I'm
Okay.
putting 11 back.
Okay.
So I would like to go up and follow Jason and encourage the group to come with me, but
I'll
Up
be
to
I'll be
them.
right I'll be right next to him too, just to try to
Okay.
take care of what he finds.
Okay.
Lock and dig. What do you guys
What
do?
do-
Do you stick with the?
Yeah, I'm
the
following the group as
back?
well. It's 5 feet wide and 10 feet high. You said.
That's right.
But we're all on the ceiling, so
Can I fly? Can I spread my wings and fly? Am I allowed to kind of slowly fly through here?
and I
You are allowed to do that. Yes, you can.
You are Bette Midler. You go right ahead. You.
Okay.
So I'll allow you to do it, but I would say earlier you said Squawk wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. It changed.
Well, because everyone's on the ceiling, and if we don't want to be walking anymore, yeah, so suck it up and fly.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, for role playing,
flying is more comfortable than walking on something at this point due to the dangers.
what
He's
kind of
always
check do you want me to make?
uncomfortable in tight.
It's up to you. This isn't a
in-
check. This is RP.
This is our.
Yeah. Well, no.
You're in a tight space, and we've been in a tight space, and things are slicing us. So, what does Squawk do in that scenario?
I think it was an intelligence check that we did. Like, what would be a mental, overcoming my fear kind of check?
So that I would give you a willpower check to is what I would generally recommend for that.
Okay. Willpower is what?
Just
Whatever
it's a
you
stat.
say. It is.
You don't know who willpower is?
Max
Am I missing willpower?
powers.
So it's on the far left side of your sheet. Above charisma, below intelligence.
Far below intelligence.
Wisdom?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, wisdom.
Okay.
Okay. So it's up to you whether that's good enough or not.
It's good enough for me to fly. I'll RP it as we play along to see what happens. But okay, I'll keep this in mind.
Okay, so do you follow the group? And
Yes,
if so,
I follow
are you
I'm
walking
following
or
the
flying
group.
or walking or
I'm
flying?
flying with the group. We're staying in order relatively. I'm slowly following the group, flying as we're doing it.
Okay. All right, and Zig, do you stay with the group?
I do.
Okay. And so Orvex will follow right behind you. Okay. So Jason, you see the pathway you're on to the left, and it ends in a door, a closed door.
I'd like to alert the party to that and find out if anyone has any particular,
Is it locked?
well, I don't know, but I'd rather someone more experienced in doors and the various axes that might come out of doors take a look at it to find if I'm gonna get an axe in my
Try
face.
turning the
again.
handle.
He's still about 10 feet away from the door.
Karate comes bursting through the door.
Can I see the door?
Yeah.
You cannot see the door yet, Dorbin.
I murdered Garad with all the stats.
Yeah, I also murdered Karad.
Take his sweet loot.
Take all
I do have
still
dark
knows
vision.
him.
I don't know if that
Okay, no,
matters.
but honestly, does anyone think that they could inspect this door for traps? It seems like a pretty trapped place. I'm a little hesitant to just slide it open. If anyone's better than me at it, by all means.
I'll
If
inspect
not,
it for traps.
How close does it? How close do we have to be to be able to see the door in the dark that we're in currently?
So Squawk, are you saying that you fly through past everybody to approach the door?
Well, they're all on the ceiling, right?
Yeah. No, I mean you can get past them. That's not the.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll fly through, and if he needs help looking at the door, I'll fly through and do it.
Ow, ooh,
So you
ow,
approach the door?
watch it, buddy. Ow.
Yes.
Okay. So you're next to the door now.
Thank you, bird. Nice.
Okay. What are you checking it for traps?
Yes.
Are you just looking at it, or do you want to like poke it and prod it? What are you doing?
I'll poke and prod it a little bit without trying to actively, without trying to do something that I feel like would, trigger a trap.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Poking is a thing that triggers traps. Like typically.
Okay. You poke and prod it,
Oh
and
my God.
you don't notice any traps, or
Does
Seems like a
Squawk
door.
give me the all clear?
Yeah, he doesn't see anything. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't see anything.
Jason opens the door.
And I fly back.
all right. Okay, you fly back a bit. So
It's
Jason,
fun to me. See you later.
You open the
Into
door.
the pit with me.
You open the door and see a roughly 20-foot long, 10-foot wide room
Dragon.
with a large stone pillar in the middle with a small stone cube atop the pillar.
Squawk actually kind of pushes through Jason to get to. Like, he's not going to. He's just getting into the bigger room where he can spread his wings and feel less trapped. He's not
All right.
doing anything in the room. He's just in the room, like breathing, getting fresh air, like feeling less trapped.
All right, you're in there.
Okay. And just
Jason, you're not in the room yet. You're outside the room.
this is to the party. We have, and not really. Actually, it's honestly out of character. Do we have one cube thus far
Yes.
out of 9?
You've told me you have one.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm holding the frog hemoth cube.
No, I am.
Squawk is. Okay. Cool. All right. So I see a cube on a pedestal, or what were you?
That's right. Yeah. It's a round stone pedestal. You look around the room and you see you see kind of a little bit of actual natural light is coming out of a tiny square hole in the ceiling, and that natural light is illuminating this carved stone pedestal, and you see the stone cube resting on top of it.
I hate
And all around the pedestal and also on the walls of the room,
This
you
is too
see-
obvious.
you see that kind of carvings that you've previously seen representing the Almiraj and the Zorbo in the battle between.
They
That's
don't look
sort of
any
depicted.
different from the carvings I previously.
They look like the carvings that you saw outside of the shrine.
What do you see there?
You're still
Sword
outside
guy.
the room.
Yeah. I will advise the party to follow me up until but not into the door, and suggest to them that I am going to go try and secure a second cube.
Where's the cube?
I will show him when he comes up near me. Right on that pedestal. I'm gonna grab it. I would suggest they stay
Can I see it yet?
outside the door.
You can see it, Gordon.
Oh,
Yes.
hold on.
You're about 10 feet away from the room, so you're about 10 feet away from the door, and then the cube and pedestal is about 10 feet past the door.
Let me try something first, if you don't mind. Maybe something a little
By all
safer. And I'll cast Mage Hand. And
Okay. Sure.
and try and I'm gonna send this hand in to try to pick up the cube and bring it to us.
I would gesture to Squawk to come back into the hallway before he does that.
Okay.
Just real quick. Yeah.
Just
Just in case this whole room erupts in God knows what.
okay.
Do you
Just
come
walk
out
into
of the
two
room,
seconds.
Squawk?
I'm doing something here real quick. No, he doesn't want to. No, I can't go back in. I can't go back in the cave. I can't go back in there.
Snag it.
Okay, then I will send the Mage Hand in and try to pick up the cube and bring it to me.
Okay. So you send the mage hand in, and you can see this. I don't think anybody else can see the hand, but you can see. And you see it float towards the cube and pick the cube up. Yoink! And the door slams shut in front
Makes
of you.
sense.
So everyone is outside the door except for Squawk.
Correct. And so, Squawk, you see the puzzle cube kind of levitating above the pedestal. You're in the room. You can still see the natural light. You still have light in this room. Everybody else is now in darkness because I assume the dancing lights stayed with you.
I'm fine.
And yeah, you and Gordon are fine. And the puzzle cube is hanging out, floating.
Not in. Is it still in the hand?
I believe so. I don't think that there's any reason why it wouldn't be. Do you have to see the mage hand for it to continue functioning?
It doesn't specify. I just posted it there. It doesn't say anything about that. That's what I was looking for.
So I don't know about you, but I would imagine I'm gonna say that it can function for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, and you probably can't move it anymore, is my guess.
You wouldn't know how to move it because you couldn't see it.
I mean, I know how to move my mage hand. Let's slow down there. Chachi.
Gross.
But,
It's not your
yeah.
girlfriend, Meryl. It's a mage hand.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. Let's just say that.
I mean, look, even if you moved it towards you,
There's a door in the way.
there's nowhere for it to go.
Yeah. Okay. Can I try and open the door again?
So Jason's currently the one standing next to the door. You could switch places with him.
Jason, open the door.
No, I'd allow you switching places with me.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Here's a rope too while you're at it.
Let me tie a rope to your waist while you open it.
Then I would.
I have an idea if I can.
I
Yeah,
say
so I
we're
think-
kind
I
of
think while
fond
they're-
of that
while they're
bird.
thinking
Can you go
about what
get
they're
the
gonna do,
bird?
Well,
Please?
you're in there alone now.
Okay.
Both door. So by the way, you see a door to your west and to your east. So there's a door on both sides of this long room.
Okay.
So afraid.
Um,
I'm so alone.
Both of which are closed.
Okay. And which door did I come in through? Is there a door to my
East.
south?
There's nothing to your south. This
Okay,
is a
so
long.
There's just a door to my east.
This is a
Okay, I'm gonna knock on
rectangular
the door to
room.
I'm gonna knock on the door to the east.
You can knock on it. You knock on it.
Yes.
Knock
Try to
with
open. I
your
try to open the
calendar
door.
or
I try to open the door.
spell
Yes.
knock?
Okay.
I try to open the door.
So you approach it, and there's a little kind of stone handle, and you're able to pull on it, and it opens up.
Okay. Is the party on the other side?
No,
We were in the door to the west.
no. He went to the door to the west. You guys were in the door to the east.
Oh.
Other way.
Oh, I meant to open the door that I. Sorry, I meant to open the behind
Well,
that
you
I came
opened
in
it.
from.
Well, you didn't.
Oh. You can go try that one too.
I'll go try that one too. All right, I want to close this door and then check the other one.
Okay, just close that one. Chunk. You walk to the east and you grab that stone handle and it. Go ahead and
Oh,
make
boy.
an athletics check.
Into the pit.
You know, this isn't what I actually wanted to do.
You just said you wanted to do it.
No, there was something else that I wanted to do, but I
Hey,
got
you were
sidetracked.
the one who
If
jumped
no
up
one
to the
else
front of the
is
line to go
doing it,
open
you're the
doors and
only
run
one
in
I
the
am not
room.
very athletic.
No, it does not budge.
Okay.
Won't.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the. I'm going to look over to the pedestal where the cube was.
Yeah,
Does it
it's
look-
still there, still floating.
Okay. Does it look to be like a pressure plate on the?
Actually, I'm gonna say right about now, unless Gordon wants to hop in and say something else happened to it, it probably drops back down
Yeah, that's fine.
and clatters to the floor.
Okay.
cube.
I'm actually so.
Gotta get the cube.
All right. So I pick up the cube. And I put the cube back on the pedestal.
Okay, so you put it back. Bink.
Okay. And do I hear any kind of clicking or anything with the door?
Make a perception check.
I don't know why I just don't have perception on my just hotkeyed. The amount of times I have to make a perception check.
Drag it down to your macro bar. Can we do that?
I think you can. So you don't notice anything change.
Okay. Is there something around here? Oh, Actually, let's see what I roll just to see. Even with my natural 19.
Yep.
Okay.
Even with my greatness? Yes.
He has a sword.
Okay. All right. Well, I've already picked up the cube, so I'll just go ahead and pick up the cube again.
Okay. Wink.
Do I hear any clicking or anything?
Doesn't seem.
And there's natural light coming in from here, right?
That's correct. There's a small beam of natural light coming down onto the stone pedestal.
From the ceiling.
Squawk!
Yes.
What's going on in there?
There's a small and you can hear Gordon or Jason yelling, but it's very muffled. It's very.
We need the
cube.
Okay.
Come
The light's
on
coming
out.
from a very small opening in the ceiling. It's very small,
Okay.
a few inches wide.
I'm gonna fly back over to that door to the east, and
Okay.
once again knock on it and try to get it to open up.
Like
I
knock
like-
on it, like knock, like
Yes.
you. Okay, you knock on the door, nothing happens.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd also like to try to open our door on our side.
Yeah, fair. So you jiggle the handle, and nothing seems to happen. You can go ahead and swap with Gordon if you want to try and, because right now Gordon's standing in front of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
by all means, go, please, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Let's open it. Let's try to get in there. We need the
Alright,
cube. We'd probably want the bird too. So
Alright, so Jason, go ahead and make an athletics check as you try to kind of, because it doesn't open naturally, but you're going to try to force it.
okay. And I'm sure I have my character. Oh, it's minimized. Okay, there we go. Athletics.
Boom.
I am athletic.
Yeah, all right.
He has
So-
all the athletics.
I am the athletics.
You
He's Carl
press on
Lewis.
the handle, and then you hear something snap inside, and the handle kind of just drops limp.
Uh-oh.
And swings freely on the door.
Good thing you have a mage hand.
How's it going?
And
And that's what it does.
I open it. I try to push it open,
Okay.
or
So you
pull it
push-
open, depending on which way it opens.
Yeah. So you push against it. It seems wedged, but you're able to. After several moments, you're able to get it open, and there's Squawk on the other side holding
Squawk!
the cube.
Get out here! Get out here with the cube! Get the cube and get out!
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want the cube? Do you want me to throw it to you?
No, I want you to come out here with
No,
me.
You guys are
on,
right
man.
next to each other right now.
Okay. I walk out the room.
You weird bird! Just get out here with the cube.
Do you want to
Walk out,
stay
walk out,
there?
walk out.
Like, what?
I leave.
You enjoy this room?
So there's not really any space for you to go right now. So what are you guys doing?
Backing up enough and.
Why don't we go? Why don't we just cross through? Why don't we just keep going through the room?
Because we know the way out, the way we came, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
we got things disarmed.
Yes.
something.
We have a cube. We have a way out. Let's proceed back along.
We got
it.
what we came for.
Yes.
Maybe there's more cubes in here.
I feel
Have
like
at-
it's
have
one
at
per
looking at it,
shrine.
looking for
Based
I
on
feel
what
like
you
it-
told me, there's
the
only
other
one cube
door.
per
The
shrine.
other door is probably for the other path.
I'll tell you what. If we end up with 8 cubes,
Probably. Actually, you're right.
we'll come on back.
Okay. Deal.
You know what I mean? Let's just
Fair-
go back
fair point.
safe.
GTFO.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get out.
Okay.
So now, we have.
What's the time on our spider climb doing, by the way?
Yeah,
You
we
have
need to
about 20
move
minutes
it.
left.
We need to move it back down the
I say we
hallway,
just book
back
it along
over
the ceiling the way we came.
Yes. Back
I
over the
agree.
ceiling, back over the tiles, right out the front.
Yep.
Is that what you guys are doing?
That's my vote.
Yes.
My vote.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm fine
Yeah,
with that.
that's
So, yeah.
unanimous.
That's a quorum.
Okay. All right. So as Squawk gets out of the door, the rest of you start to just turn around and run back. All right. So here's what we're gonna do, and you guys are booking it, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Jogging. Jog. At a jogging pace.
So
Along the
go
ceiling.
ahead. I'd like to see everybody make a survival check.
Well, that's how that goes.
Who will be in the pit next?
Oh,
A 6 with a +4 modifier? You gotta be kidding me.
Troy, do you mind if I roll a real dice tonight?
I do mind.
Throw it out.
Oh god.
oh god.
And can somebody tell me that's a wisdom? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna roll for Orbex. Look at that. Schooled most of you. All right. So, you guys are running along and
Jogging.
More of a
trying to
trot.
follow the path back as best as you could, and you find yourselves at a dead end. 10 minutes left.
Whoa.
Oh, because we didn't say which way we wanted to go.
Well, so you were rushing back, so survival is kind of how you track, right?
Okay.
So that was my way of.
So what turns did we take?
Yeah. So you ran to the south, went to the west, north, west a bit, south a bit, west, south, east, north, west.
There's no way I can track that. None.
That put us back almost where we started.
That seems far. It seems quite far. Right? So what are our choices now?
Yeah. So in this dead end that you're now in, you see the path extends to your east about 10 feet.
Did we pass over the tile? Any of the tiles that we had like put, whatever that we had disarmed?
Marked with the.
You didn't notice.
The one tile that we disarmed, I should say.
You actually disarmed 2 tiles.
Oh, okay.
But you were running along the ceilings.
Yeah.
It would be tough. It would be very difficult to actually notice that.
Yeah.
I can see
I'll
in the
go-
dark, so it wouldn't be tough for me to notice that.
It'd be tough.
You'd have to be staring at
running.
the effectively the ceiling from your perspective.
With your lame ass survival check.
Yeah.
So you're
Fair enough.
I'll go back east. Or
Okay.
yeah, back east. Is that
Okay,
correct?
I'm just assuming everybody's following you still, unless somebody says that they have a different idea in mind.
Is that correct?
Okay.
East
Yeah,
is the
so-
way? Okay.
That's the only way you can go.
This is where we die.
So now the tunnel extends to the south.
We're gonna starve in here.
Seems to,
Only
seems to go
Only to the south.
curve to the west from there.
Okay, I'll go south up until the
Okay.
intersection.
All right. So you now see the tunnel
I
extend.
wish I had graph paper like old school D&D.
I'm actually mapping it out on paint right now. So
We would be just fine if I had just done it like they used to do back in the day. So where am I now?
So you now see a tunnel. So the hallway there's a hallway extending about 10 feet to your west, and there are 2 tunnels extending to the south from this tunnel.
2.
Mm-hmm.
So he went south already.
Yeah, he went down south 1, right? But he can't go any further south. But he can go west up to 2 spaces, each one of which has a separate southern tunnel.
Can I see how far south either tunnel goes?
Only the one that's closest to you,
How far does the one closest to me go?
about 10 feet south.
Okay. And
And
if I
curves
walk
off.
5 feet further along, can I see
Mhm.
how far the other one goes south?
Yep, it only goes about 5 feet to the south.
So he
Yeah, I
went.
like
he
to go
went.
down the 10 feet south.
He went west and then south down the first tunnel. Is that right?
Well, I think. Well, he's telling me what he's going to do now.
I'm going down the longer southward tunnel.
Okay.
Was that so? That
You
was
go down.
okay.
Yep.
So he went south
this
and then
is-
west and then down the first tunnel.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Now you see a tunnel that extends quite far to the west.
Yeah, I'd like to proceed at a regular pace.
We're
but
all
try-
following him. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm making that assumption as well. So you get a little ways down this tunnel, and you see the animal tiles
Cash money! We're back to
on
the
the floor.
entrance.
And across
No effing
across
way.
that hallway to the south, you see
Oh my
the
God.
front entrance of
Oh, to the
the
ceiling.
Go
shrine.
quick,
Right back
spider
to the
climb.
front.
Yep.
Yep.
Go, get across that
Oh,
thing.
Oh my god.
Okay.
What are the
You
odds?
guys all harass to the exterior.
Hold on. I want to take a calculation of how much time we believe we have spider climb left.
No,
No,
it's good.
no, we cross and then we're done. We don't need to
Cross
calculate.
it and it's fine.
Okay.
Don't question.
Orbex crosses, his fingers give out and he falls to the ground.
Totally. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
He
Roll
the
a
last
1d1.
step, the last step,
disintegrates.
it
Where?
doesn't work, and he tumbles out the door, just narrowly missing one of the animal tiles, rolling on the grass.
Oh, Orvex. Oh, my buddy. I'm so sorry, man. I tried to find my way back.
I turned to Dorban. I say, told you I didn't need to ask for directions. I knew where we were.
I'm sorry.
Shut up, you fool.
All right.
Okay,
Should we
so
take
now-
a bio break?
Bio break.
Bio and reboot.
And now Squawk has 1 cube and
Nope, Squawk has 2.
Squawk has
Squawk
2.
has 2 cubes. You are the holder of the cubes.
Perhaps we should diversify.
Oh,
Yeah,
buddy.
because when he dies, we're gonna have to go get him.
Yeah.
Let's all remind ourselves not to throw the cubes into the lava pit with Squawk scores.
Yeah, that
Worked out great. Yeah, I was gonna say it worked out great last time you let
that would be unfortunate.
All right, bio break.
Squawk's done. Squawk leaves. Right.
Just like to say it's unhealthy how much my mood changes based on whether my fantasy team wins or loses on a Sunday.
Dude, I'm so depressed right now.
Like, I thought I was done. I was like, oh, well, I lost. I'm at 1-3. I'm one of the highest scoring teams in the league. I'm at 1-3.
I am emotionally drained after what just
I'm
happened.
gonna be 2-2.
I was like, what am I doing here? I can just barely. I was like, I know we went north to go in. We should go south to go out. And that was like my only. Well, Troy, now that we're out, how close did I come to death like a million times?
He's
I
not
feel like
back.
it's. Oh my god. I feel
I'm
like
not
I
even gonna
almost
crack 100
died
points.
so many times that I didn't even know.
You guys know who I like? Kenny Galladay.
I bet. You know who I fucking hate? Randall fucking Cobb.
I was at that game today, and it was. I
What you
was
drinking, Nick?
confused
You what?
and upset.
What you drinking?
I was angry and confused. The 2 emotions that you need.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
May have been left over some from the draft.
It's pumpkin season,
Oh, that was
boys.
leftover. It was leftover from the draft. I, thought
I
you were
know. I was pumpkin season like 2 weeks ago. I went into a grocery store and saw pumpkin,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Fuck
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's here!
Let's do
The
it.
pumpkin times.
I was in the mood
Yeah.
today. I was like, oh, let's get some pumpkin beer.
Everything
gross.
should be pumpkin."
Hey, Hillers, when do you want to play Gloomhaven?
I'll play
What's
it
your
next,
schedule like?
next weekend. Would work. This upcoming weekend.
Grimes
Okay.
is going to be 1-3, right?
Yes.
God, that's amazing.
That's so great. I hope he loses so much.
And And now Le'Veon Bell is gonna get traded to like the fucking, I don't know, the Browns or something.
Yeah,
or the Bucks.
For the third week in a row, I failed to start the correct lineup,
Who was going to?
and I will lose.
He might go to like the Bills, who apparently are a juggernaut all of a sudden. Went to Minnesota and trounced the Vikings. Like, what the hell was that?
It's funny. My mother was over today. She's a Bills fan, and her emotion just went from beginning of the game was
fancy.
We're all doomed. What's
the
point?
beginning of the game was like, I just don't want them to make a fool of themselves. And in the middle of the game was like, well, hey, we might actually win. And then it was like, hey, we're gonna win. And then it turned into, well, I really hope it's a shutout. It's like you went from I don't want to be embarrassed to shutout.
Yeah.
So,
Shutout. Come on.
I did start Calvin Ridley in the Dynasty League though, Nick. So I'm gonna win that game.
My DraftKings lineup was money this week.
Well, against me, I'm in a single one against you that I'm going to lose, and a single one against Nick that I think I'm going to win.
I'm in a tournament, and there are I think 40,000 people in this tournament, and I am in. Oh, it's over. I came in 356th.
Nice.
Out of 40,000.
Not bad.
How'd you do? How'd you?
Well, it was a $3 entry, and I won 15. So.
If I had started Ridley instead of Murray, like I was thinking about doing, I might win my game against Dave.
Oh, I won my double up.
And Andy, I crushed you like a bug.
Sorry, Merrill. So how much did you win? Merrill?
It was I quintupled my money. It was $3 entry, and I won 15.
Oh,
nice.
Look at you. High roller.
It was my last $3 in DraftKings.
Buy my next cocktail.
I was like, I love this lineup. Let's do this. Yeah.
Who was your lineup?
I had. All right. This is great. I don't know why nobody cares about this, but I had Breeze. I had Breeze. I had Gurley. My worst player was it Corey Grant for Jacksonville. Then I took Odell Beckham, who had 22, Tyler Boyd, who had 28, Calvin Ridley, who had 43.
Oh my God! You got Calvin.
Yeah, I had Ebron, who only had 8, and then Michael Thomas, who had 25, and Cowboys D, which was okay.
I feel like Calvin Ridley is the successful element in all prize-winning.
Oh yeah.
How many points did you score?
It's gonna be fun when you play him next week and he
205.
gets 2 points, Hillary.
Wow.
I know. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
You had that lineup. That's like who picks those guys?
I know, right? I picked it.
That's exactly what's gonna happen,
yeah.
Andy. I'm gonna
I had a
start
43, 28, a 22, a 28, a 43, and a 25 in my lineup.
Damn.
I'm gonna sit Deshaun Jackson, and I'm gonna lose a doubleheader on the back.
As he scores 36 points next week.
I had
Yes.
That's why I never have Deshaun Jackson. That'd be maddening to have that guy.
It is maddening. I don't know what to do.
I had Breeze, Thomas, Peterson.
Peterson was good, right?
27 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he too was against me this week.
Yeah. He crushed me in week 1.
All right, guys.
I don't think the Patriots are good, guys.
I don't
He
think
might
they're
not be.
No, their time is done. Their dynasty is complete.
Brady.
Calling it.
Yeah. They need a better quarterback.
I don't think that's their problem.
Trade for Jimmy G.
I think their problem is they're sending Cordero Patterson out wide. I think that's their problem.
Are we ready to get back to it?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hiller's had a question for you, Troy.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh no, I had a question for you guys. It's just now that we're out of there, where to?
Well, no, you were going to ask Troy how close you were to death.
Oh yeah. How many times was I about to be absolutely incinerated in there and just by dumb luck managed to not be that?
Although we might still go back, so we don't know.
Honestly, the labyrinth element isn't that dangerous.
Oh really? Because I felt like I was close to death at all times.
Spider Climb was clutch.
Good. Glad to hear that. No, yeah, I mean, well, Spider Climb and also you guys disarming the traps was huge.
Okay.
It makes
I
me
mean-
feel a little bit better about us as a party, honestly, that we navigated something that wasn't just hammering undead to death.
Yeah, just kill things. Yeah.
I mean,
Honestly, you guys trivialized pretty much the entire thing.
We did. We did super easy mode because that was really.
Well, and
we
you just
solved the
basically-
puzzle, we walked over it.
We did.
solve the puzzle. We did solve the puzzle because we walked over it.
Derogatory.
No,
way.
the other solve thing was let's just push the door real hard until it breaks and we open it, and that was the other way we solved it. So
I was a little butthurt about that 25.
yeah, that was really strong.
that was like that was what I had set it at in my head as like kind of a fuck
This
you.
have to be real hard.
And I was,
Damn it.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And then, dude, we'd have been in there for another hour if that 25 didn't happen.
Yeah, one thing you might have noticed in previous sessions, I'm really strong.
No, I
I
did
was
know
gonna
that.
guess
I
knock.
did
I was
know
gonna
that.
guess knock on it.
I was actually pretty excited about having Squawk have to navigate
Find his way out.
the
by
rest
himself.
Oh
which
my
is still the
god.
traps that you
Nah,
guys
that
had
never
not
would've worked.
disarmed, by the
We
way.
would have found a bird corpse after being carved
Yeah,
up. By
I'd go to bed and wake up tomorrow and still find you guys on the game trying to get Squawk out of
Yeah,
there.
I'd be like, okay, let's find him so we can get the cube and throw him in the pit and move on. All right.
I know I'd still be lost in there.
Wow, that was a fucking miracle we got out of that place. You had to have us like visualize it, and I didn't grid paper.
You were like, I don't know, I go right and then
I
left,
don't
and you're like, oh, you
So-
see the entrance. It's like, oh.
Oh, well then, let's get my ass out of here immediately. All right,
All
so
right,
where are we?
So,
Christ.
so as you guys exit the shrine, you notice that there are dozens, maybe hundreds
Oh no.
of small black birds perched in the trees and along the stone wall surrounding the shrine, all facing towards your group, sitting there perched silently.
I just wanted to take a short rest. Was
Are
that
they
so much-
ravens?
Are they from King's Landing?
Make a nature check.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna die anyway, aren't I?
could be.
Oh, all our nature checks are so bad.
That could be.
Hold on.
We are definitely
Oh,
Republicans.
he's the only one who's making a nature check.
Why?
It was
Because we hate the environment and we're shitty at nature.
How we are. We can't nature.
Sorry, that's a really broad stereotype there.
Just wanna
And also
throw out there,
unfair.
I got plus 4 to
Yeah,
nature.
totally irrelevant.
And irrelevant. And unprovoked.
So the birds don't seem to
Get
be
yourself together, Mike.
moving. They don't seem to be making. Yeah, that too
Doesn't
late.
count at all. I just wanted to roll.
Doesn't help.
They're grown, and they hate you.
So they're all watching you, but that seems to be up.
Can we just keep walking and walk out?
You can try.
Are they watching any particular one of us?
That's
Can
the
I
question.
stealth?
Can you stealth?
Yes.
You can try.
I'd like to try to stealth.
They know your business.
Okay.
Oh!
You kind of dive into the bush next to the entrance, where the bunny was hiding before.
You would really think by now we would
It's like-
learn that the
like Paul
question,
Blart.
Can I do something? Is always answered with "You can try." Like, just make your roll and say, "This is what I'm doing," and let you decide.
Dorman goes. Dorman goes. What the hell is that? And points in one direction and then dives the other.
Hey guys,
Jason, I think you were the one that asked if they were looking at anybody in particular.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
So many.
I've got a feeling.
Troy is a Dungeons and Dragons equivalent of Parker saying, "Dad, can I have a cookie?" and him saying, "I don't know, can you?"
Can you?
Yeah, you can't tell what they're looking at, but they're
All right.
you're certain they're looking at your party, like they're looking in the
In
general
our
direction
direction.
of your group. But
I will stride
Mhm.
out of the courtyard, out beyond the gate.
okay, you stride one right on out.
I walk
Nothing
with him.
eats my tasty eyeballs or anything.
Nothing happens. Squawk,
Okay.
you do the
All right
thing.
then I am justified in my actions.
Orvex kind of looks over at Zigmundo and then looks nervously at the birds and decides to just jog out of the front gate to catch up with Jason and Squawk.
Can I get the city map?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe
I will slowly follow them out as well through the bushes.
I'm gonna walk with them.
Okay.
Am I the last one?
You're the last one. They're still there, still looking at you.
Can I this is weird. Can I kneel?
What?
And then I don't know. I'm grasping here. And present
Are ya?
and yeah, present my weapon and
Okay.
just kind of lay it down in front of me near the birds and see if they react to it at all.
Yeah, so you summon forward. I assume that you don't keep your weapon summoned at all times.
Well, no, I do when I can once each day, so I do actually have it on me.
Okay. So yeah, so you pull it out of the scabbard or whatever you keep it in.
Yeah.
Lay it in the dirt in front of you. It's this long, large blue greatsword. You place it there, and you briefly see and none of the rest of you see this, but Gordon, you briefly see an elf appear in front of you, a ethereal elf, wielding a very similar looking blue greatsword. He flashes before you, and he's holding the greatsword point down. He disappears, and that greatsword, which is also kind of ethereal, remains. You see 5 runes etched into the blade in front of you that's kind of hovering, and each of the 5 runes are glowing this faint blue glow. You see one of them poof out, like diminish, and then you see the sword in front of you, your sword, start to glow a little bit more brightly, and then the sword in front of you fades away, and you hear a few calls, and the birds just take off and scatter into the wind.
Does the crow do a dance as a crow flies off?
No.
No. Caw, caw, caw. Cuckoo, ka-cha, cuckoo, ka-cha.
Okay. I will think that I know what that means, and
Will you though?
yeah, pick up my sword and
Will you think that?
sheathe it and resheathe it.
Okay. You pick it up, and it feels a little bit lighter than before.
Okay.
You sheathe it.
I'll unsheathe it and kind of swing it a little bit. Get
Yeah,
used to the
things
balance.
just swing a little bit more easily, less effort.
Okay. Would it be like +1 less effort or?
No.
Oh, okay.
Something like that, yeah.
What did you even do?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
And so you make your way out of the gate, and
So there were,
back-
just to recap, there
we're
were
back
5
to-
runes, and one of those runes went out now.
That's correct.
Okay.
we should.
I will sheathe it and walk out with the rest of the party.
Okay,
As
so
a
you guys are
party.
all here.
Where we should go next. I think northward seems to be still fine, unless anybody wants to venture across the river. No, I'm not hearing anything. So northward seems fine. I think, at least from the very minimal experience we've had of shrines, that walled structures seem to be our best bet. So I would suggest we would move back onto the raised highway and head north, looking for structures like that.
You see my ping down here, south of us?
That one?
Would that be a walled structure?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's got a wall around it. That is our criteria, right? For all right. So yeah, I mean, let's go. Like,
I mean, the other
check
option would
it out.
be up here, right?
Well, no, I mean, but let's
There is a
there's
bridge.
that.
Ooh,
There's
bridge.
there's like this with the jungle in it. You know.
I'd go north. Let's make our way like at least kind
Well,
of clockwise.
I do like the idea though of clearing out our southern passage of buildings we haven't explored before
Yeah, maybe I missed that. Where did you ping before on the southern side?
we go down to our path and look for the colors.
Okay.
I'd like to at least take a look at that building, giving our new sort of guideline. And if it doesn't seem immediately temple-like, then back up along the highway.
Okay, but you are, to be clear, you don't want to cross already.
I mean,
because like, what about this? Like, this could be points.
let me separate this. Jason does because he kind of thinks Rosna Sea is up in that bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, looking
So
at
Jason's gonna always vote for going across the river and up into the bowl, but is willing to accept the group's desire to find cubes.
All right, so check this out, right? Like, we've all played Legend of Zelda, right? Look at all this water territory here that might require water something or another. Like, especially this up in the upper northeast here. I mean, that's definitely a water temple.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that is a shrine almost for sure.
Yeah, that one's definitely a shrine.
Right. So
okay,
I'm all for...
and maybe this guy down here too.
So just as a reminder, you guys can mark up the map, right? So
yeah, well, that's fine. But we have, I think, right?
We're working on it. Yep.
We've got our path. We're marking.
So I've been kind of tracking your path for you, but if you guys want to like feel, I think this might be a thing.
I would
also draw on the map.
I would side with Jason and just say let's knock out the southwest corridor first.
Okay. Let's go south.
Let's get this done. Let's just check this one building and then head.
And then if we want to head to the water area next, we can, or if we want to head to the northwest next, we can. Whatever we want to do.
Yeah. All right. Let's go south.
I mean, Hiller says go north, south, north, south. Jason says let's get to that circle immediately.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it is an RPG, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've decided to go south to that building.
Okay.
Yon building. Yeah.
Are you guys going on the road back up onto the highway to get there?
Yawns want to go to Yon building?
Can we hold on? I'm going to choose a color here. Can we take a detour out to the lake or the river or whatever? Just check it out.
Yeah. I like a nice lake view as much as the next guy.
All right, can we do
that? Is that yours there, Andrew?
That's my little line there. Yeah.
I like that. Man, that's a good squiggle.
Good
Okay,
squiggle.
so you guys head out to.
This is like a family circus cartoon.
By the lake.
The little Billy runs all over town.
Right. Okay. So you're next to the lake. So you look out over the lake to your east, and you see numerous buildings, perhaps dozens of buildings, many of which are completely destroyed. Most of which probably you can't even, they don't look like buildings anymore. But some of which look actually quite intact. You can see the ruins of an old highway. All of this is basically flooded with relatively still quickly moving water that's flowing from north to south, fed by the waterfall near where you first arrived at Omu.
Right into the old lava pit.
Yeah, this water. So it looks like there was a section of the city that was sunken down a bit more than where you are. It looks like it might have even been eroded already over the years by this water. You can look and you can see this slick, muddy slopes along this coastline that you're standing upon, and then the buildings themselves. The water line seems to be nearly to the top of the first floor of these buildings. So you would estimate at least it's at least 10 feet deep, maybe more.
Cool.
Is there anything else you're looking at in particular?
Cool.
I have no interest in moving forward down that way except for continuing south along the predetermined course.
Yeah. Which would be from this point, westward to the highway, down the alleyway, back up the staircase to the raised highway.
Okay, so you want to go like
You don't want to go through the buildings, huh?
No.
Is that basically what you want to
Yeah.
do? Okay.
All right, I'm with it.
Let me just roll a couple checks here. Squawk, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay, thank you.
I'd love to go through the buildings. I mean, for the interest of time, we just can't go through every building.
We got to find a discriminator and aim at those.
Like if there's something you're looking for and you want to, head into anything,
Well,
I'm down.
Look, when we come up short of our goal, we'll search more buildings, right?
Yeah.
So Squawk, as you guys make it to the staircase, ping for you here. To your east, you're kind of flying up above the group. To your east, in this general area, you see some movement, and you look a little bit harder, and you see a small group of what look like goblin creatures, but wearing these wooden masks. There, you've actually, I think, encountered these before back at some goblins that looked very similar.
Camp Righteous.
Camp Righteous. And you see a group of about 10 of these guys.
These fuckers.
Right around here.
Okay, I think Nick may not have been there for this, so what is the deal with these?
Walk was there. They were the ones who tried to steal our rowboats when we got ambushed at Camp Vengeance, when Recto was
Shooting things wildly.
My character wasn't there, so I can't really.
Okay, okay, I remember. Okay, so I do not have fond memories of these things. I guess is the
Birds have short memories, but
birds have very good memories.
well, then you would remember.
Nick don't have very good memories.
But birds do. This is the opposite.
Okay, I want to fly over. Okay, I want to whistle to the group and point over to that direction of where they're coming from, and start flying over and fly over
in that direction.
Yes,
towards them.
Yeah, motion the group to come with us. You're gonna come with me.
Okay.
Oh, why? Where are we going? What do you see?
Yeah, I think we're being followed.
Okay.
Where is this? Can you ping it again?
Mm-hmm.
I see some movement. I think we're being followed off to the east. Up to the east, we are.
I'd at least like to get off the highway and hide behind a building or like conceal myself.
So you guys are. This is like as you're getting onto the highway. So let me actually update the path here. This actually happened before you got to the highway.
Okay, so
Can you put our star to show us where we are?
Yeah, I don't know where the star went, but you're basically at the end of that.
At the end of the path.
Okay.
I used to have a star. Let me go grab another star.
The star was the best. Let us know where we are.
Is there going to be trouble up here?
Gave me a sense of purpose.
Knowing us, yes.
I imagine something needs to be carved up again. That's usually what happens. Although, if perhaps one of you two are, more accustomed to the ways of diplomacy, like to investigate, it sure would be a weight off my mind if we didn't have to cube up everything into fillets.
Here, he very good at talking to the people.
Yes, I am. Thank you. I am very diplomatic.
Before we do that, I'm gonna.
We always all say that.
So we're heading towards these. We're heading towards the people following us. Is that correct?
Well, we're stopped right now, but.
So you were about to go up the steps to get onto the highway.
I do
Squawk
believe they're of
saw some
interest.
goblins nearby, and I think he's.
I see some goblins
their
following
direction.
us.
Okay. Well, I don't want to be followed.
Well, let's stop them then.
So Jason will put it quite bluntly. Do you want to talk to them, or do you want to talk into them? So to speak?
We've had some dealings with these kind of goblins before, and they're not very friendly. We should be ready. So we should be ready to fight our way through this.
You're not very good at answering questions, are you?
I mean, my dealings with them in the past have been that they're not very friendly. So
I found him very persuasive thus far.
or we may have aggravated them though before with recklessness, but I know that they were very mischievous before.
So I'd like to try to stealth, like down to the south and around to the corner of the building to like this point.
Sorry, I'm not on that map. Let me.
I'm planning your demise.
You're already planning. You're already planning our deaths.
Yeah. Do we want to? Well, do we want to all stealth as we head that way then?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Okay. So why don't you guys do? Let's do a group stealth check.
Like I'm preparing. Yeah. Like an
Wait,
ambush.
mine's at disadvantage though. Sorry.
Why? Because of your
Chainmail.
horrible ways.
Armor. Yep. So Squawk, we need you.
Yours is at disadvantage as well, Hillers.
Don't tell me my business.
Okay. You guys kind of try to.
It's already a 7
building
again.
as best as possible.
Oh my god! No.
I cast that, by the way, Troy. I don't know if you saw that, but that Armor of Agathis.
Does it give me my 20 instead of the 7?
Just gives me 15 extra hit points, basically, and then if they hit me, they take damage too. So.
Is that the first time they hit you, or just permanently? Like.
Well, until the temporary hit points are gone.
It says 5.
5 per
I
level.
see. Got it.
Oh, right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, got it.
Nice.
Okay.
Solid.
Wow.
We're lucky. All right.
And what level did you cast it at?
It's 3. I mean, all my spells are level 3 right now. So.
All of them are the same, but he only has 2 slots. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So you got 15 of those hit points.
And I'm down to 1 spell now. Yep.
Got it. Okay. So you guys try to you've done your best to stealth.
Warlocks are awesome.
So what are you now doing?
My intention was to sneak around the building, across the alleyway, and this way, right?
Okay.
So as to flank them up the alleyway, if that's where I saw them.
Okay. Got it.
Is that where I see them?
Just give me a moment.
Yep.
Okay, so you find you as you approach, you do find some that seem to be they don't seem to be looking at you. You're still a distance away, so you're probably 50 yards away, and you can see them at a distance. You can't really engage with them probably from this distance, and they're kind of coming in and out of view because they're working their way through some ruins near the coastline.
Oh, so they're not even necessarily paying attention to us. I just saw them.
You don't know, because I don't think, are you even there? I'm not sure who's with Jason.
Well, I'm the one that saw that they were there, that they were following us.
You saw them from a distance. So
Yeah, I
Jason's
mean,
now approaching them.
I think we all wanted to approach kind of as stealthy as we could, right?
Okay.
I would have followed Jason.
All right. So from that distance, yeah, you guys can see them making their way southward through some ruins near the coastline. You see about a dozen of them.
A dozen.
Okay. Does it look to be any? Hang on a second. I will answer this question for you here in just a second.
What question?
What are you going to say?
You can try.
I'm looking for any particular leader or someone that looks to be different than the rest. That looks to be giving the orders. That looks to be the leader of the group.
You do see that one of them. So each of them are wearing these very intricately carved wooden masks, and one of them is wearing a mask that's much taller than the others. The creature itself doesn't really seem to be any noticeably taller than the others, but but its mask looks almost like a totem pole, where it's got multiple faces stacked on top of one another.
Okay.
Aye.
What does their demeanor look like? Like, what can I kind of get using my?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Before I get into that, I want to see if this helps with it at all, just to make sure, or see if this gives me any kind of advantage or anything. Not advantage,
Observant?
but
You're talking about observant,
yes,
not for demeanor.
not for this kind of thing. Okay. So I was making an insight check. My internet's so slow today. This is just being very insight.
Okay. They seem to just be focused on effectively, the equivalent of marching. They don't seem to be incredibly disciplined, but they're just making their way, and it seems to be pretty workmanlike.
Okay. Do we want to follow them? Hey, do we want to follow them and see what they're doing?
I thought you said they were following us.
You did say that.
Well, it looked like they were following us, but it looks more like that they're just here and that they're not following us, that they're just doing their own thing.
All right. I'm going to suggest a radical plan here. We just head back to the highway and keep moving.
Okay.
That's just me. That's just Jason talking.
Are they heading the same direction we're heading? Or are we worried about running into them in the future at an inconvenient time?
Much as I love stabbing, not everything needs stabbed all the time.
They're heading north, right?
They're heading south.
They are heading the same direction that we are heading towards the temple. But if they're looking for the same thing as we are, we might be able to or team up with them and use them.
Team up with goblins?
Let them go first and get eaten by the traps. Maybe they can come out with a cube and then we can kill them. Maybe we should follow them.
Okay. You really think goblins are looking to find cubes and stop the death curse?
I think
Well, if
goblins
they're
are
not
looking
finding
to
the
trigger
cube.
traps.
Yeah. Goblin bodies are as good as Jason bodies.
Okay, if the group votes to follow goblins around, I suppose I will follow goblins around.
If the goblins are heading south towards...
Or we just talk to them and figure out what they want. And if they...
Sure. Go talk to them.
What are you proposing, Bird?
I don't like the way you talk to me.
Goblin diplomacy.
You're all over the place. They're following us, they're not following us. Let's let them go in front of us. Let's talk to them. I don't understand.
I don't think you respect me.
I just need to know what you want to do.
As a party, what do we want to do? Do we want to just keep going south?
Well, if they're going this exact same place we're going, I'd rather go behind them. And
I just don't want to rely on them to lead us places. I'd rather just figure it out. And if we have to kill them, we kill them. If we can use them, we can use them.
We know where we were headed, right? Which is here. So we can keep going there. We can keep watching them, or we can just kill them right now. Those are our three choices, I think.
Squawk loves an audience, so he'll always play for more.
Where did
people.
Andy
if we
go?
can get a whole bunch of goblins to join our group and have them be cannon fodder for us, then that's a whole lot of red shirts for Troy to keep track of.
I really like the idea of Squawk going to talk to this group of goblins.
I do like that too.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah,
Because you want Squawk to die?
Let's have a word with them.
No,
what kind of
I
day is
believe
it,
in
by the
you. I believe in your
Okay.
leadership qualities.
Okay.
It's not that I want to throw you into a lava pit. It's that I believe in your leadership qualities.
Okay. So we are. So would it be safe to say that we are here? Is this where we are?
Hold on.
No, we're where the star is.
I don't see the star.
Yeah, you're where the star is.
It's
there.
north,
Oh,
it's
we're there.
north of
Okay.
that. Yeah.
And the goblins are where?
Yeah, right
Where's
around
the
there.
lead? Where is the head goblin?
Well, it's one group, but they're walking along the shoreline here,
Okay.
following the shoreline south.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to fly. So I'm gonna start pulling. I'm gonna pull up my sitar. No, is that what it's called? A sitar.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, my sitar, and start playing it to attract their. I'm gonna move away from the group. I'm gonna move up here to like this alleyway here, like kind of away from the group,
Okay.
close enough that they can intervene, but far enough away that they're not directly with me. at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move a block up north, I guess. Block north.
Okay. So let's say that you are able to get.
So it's goodbye, yellow brick road.
So you can get about 40 feet from the goblins. Is that about how far you want to go?
That's cool. And I'll start playing my sitar to try to get their attention. I'm not like, yeah, I'm just start playing my sitar and just start playing a song.
And you're like flying in the air, or are you like perched on a?
I'm gonna part. I'll part. Is there a is there a ledge that I can safely play on? I'm gonna start playing my sitar for them.
Okay. So there's not a roof, but there are ruins and walls. So you could perch on one of the ruined walls to do that. So you're up about 10 feet high.
Cool. Okay. So I'm not using a bardic inspiration, but I'm playing inspirational music for them while they're searching around. What is a good song for that? I'll figure out that later.
Okay.
Classic
So pretty quickly, as you start to play, you hear kind of this goblin chatter coming from not too far away. You hear them going, "You there?"
Oh,
and you
why?
see them kind of turn.
That's incredibly racist, Troy.
Yeah, and start to look in your direction. And one of the ones with the tall mask kind of comes forward out of the group, and he's waving his spear around, getting some of the other goblins to come up with him, closer to him. And they're looking directly at you. They can definitely see you.
Okay. I'm gonna keep on playing. I'm going to very confidently. I'm going to try to, in my travels, maybe play some like goblin tunes that I may have picked up along the way. Things that they might like. Things that are just kind of like clanky and like loud and not really coherent, but music that they might like. Do I have to make an insight check? Performance check. Performance check.
Performance check, exactly.
You're gonna perform for them.
Well, yeah, I have to know my audience.
I think performing for anybody in this scenario is not knowing your audience.
This is what Dungeons and Dragons is about, man. You outside the box.
So
no, I love it. Don't get me wrong.
They seem to relax a bit. And a couple of them you see kind of looking at each other. A little bit, you surmise that they're relatively surprised that you would know one of the great all-time goblin hits. That you're doing a decent. You know that a sitar can't quite capture
classic goblin karaoke song
of
just a small town goblin.
Goblin music, but you feel like you're doing a reasonable job at kind of simulating it and doing a cover
as he's doing that.
So hold on. So they do kind of lower their weapons and take a less aggressive posture, but they do continue to approach towards you. And I would say at this point, you're about 15 feet away from the front line.
Okay. I'm actually looking for specific things. So, Meryl, if you have something to do, that's fine. I'm actually just looking for specific things to do.
I was just gonna say, as he's distracting them, maybe we can kind of start to move in around the sides to kind of get an advantageous position on them.
Okay, so here's what we will do.
Can I actually? All right, actually, hang on a second. Can we role play this out? Can I do a sleight of hand check to, while I'm performing, make a motion for them to move? Is that easier to do from an RP standpoint? Or
I'm already moving. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, he's already moving. That's fine.
Cool. No, it's cool. I just didn't know if there was an RP stand thing that we wanted to do for that. That's all.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Initiative. There we are.
So many.
Wow, that's a lot of goblins.
This is just the battle map. We we're not in combat yet.
If you were wondering when Fireball's good,
so you are
Fireball's
not
good right now.
Fireball's
Come
real
on,
good.
be out of the fireball.
No one has. So I am gonna bring up initiative, but this is one of the things. Like, initiative is fundamentally not a combat tracker. It is a turn order tracker to make sure it's a time tracker, right?
Fair enough.
So, I mean, you can do whatever you
We
want.
don't have to fight.
Yeah.
But if we did have to fight, Fireball.
Hey, look who's back! It's that Andy guy.
So
Right in the nick of time.
so as
We all love peace, but if we didn't love peace, then fireball.
So how do you want us to do this? You're like, as he's playing, can we be moving like around to
Well,
where we want to get positioned?
That's why I'm asking you to do initiative.
Oh, I
So
got
that
you.
everybody goes in order because it's too hard for me to track otherwise.
Roger that.
Oh yeah, guys, our initiative is strong.
Well, I didn't see my token, so I couldn't click it, but my roll, as noted.
Initiative.
Okay. Let's see. So,
I'm fine.
Jason,
I got
let me
21.
21.
Oh, there's a clear leader here.
All right. I think we've got everybody.
And I'm just gonna camp out until someone
Okay.
who fireballs can get in a fireball range. And
There's a band
fireball!
called Goblins from Mars.
All right, Gordon. So you guys can hear Squawk playing this really awful music. You don't like it. Is in almost I would say it's very unlikely that you like it. You can decide if you're into goblins.
Jorgny.
But
muted.
but most of the civilized races don't
No,
care
they
for,
hate it.
for
It's like the
goblins.
Eagles.
It's very mediocre.
Or Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
Hotel
Uh,
California for goblins.
So Gordon,
God, I hate that song.
we'll kick it off with you.
So yeah, I'm just gonna move up to here.
And you guys can't see the goblins yet, just to be clear.
Well, but we know he's
Yeah, you've got the general idea of where they're at.
right.
but
Right. So that's why I'm just gonna move. I mean, we're still sticking to our walking speed on our turns right here, basically,
Yep.
because it's a time tracker, pretty much.
Hey,
Exactly.
Troy, how tall are the walls?
So I'm done after that.
Walls are about 10 feet.
Okay.
Okay. So he did that on his turn? Let me
Correct. So
go,
it's now Jason's turn.
let me bring out the ruler. I'm trying to go up that north wall near Squawk.
I think the Lions just
Close-
won the Super
close
Bowl.
to it. I'll like maybe up in that bush. Can somebody give me a line?
Like
up in the-
this?
Yeah. How far up in that way can I go?
Well, that was 15 feet, so you've got another 15 feet to go.
Yep,
So you could get
right
there.
there. Right there. Yeah, at that 30-foot line. There we go. This is my turn.
Okay. Zig.
I'm gonna go up past Gordon by one space north. There you go.
Okay. All right. So some of these goblins start to make their way this way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Keep playing, Squawk.
No.
You play your heart out.
I got this.
And you see them, Jason, as they come around that see you, and
I would say hello.
the posture changes. The spears kind of come up again, and you hear them kind of yelling back in Goblin to the rest of the their
Well, now
cohort.
I don't got this.
Okay.
Oh, they just moved through the wall like that.
Well, they went around.
What?
Around. 5, 10. It's
They got
easily
they
within
got
their
plenty.
range.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine. I just trying to understand.
So these ones that are approaching you, Nick, are kind of like bobbing their head, like they're digging the music a bit.
Okay.
A couple
Strange.
others come up around the boss here.
Goblins waiting in the night.
Okay. And you see the one with the tall mask walk down to about here. to get a good look at you. And he points at Jason and starts speaking loudly and rapidly.
In Goblin?
Goblin. Does anybody speak Goblin?
Do I?
I do.
I do not.
You do,
I
Sigmundo?
do.
Yeah, but I don't think you can hear him from where you are.
Oh well.
You speak Goblin?
I
Son of a
speak
bitch.
Common, Elvish, Draconic, Dwarven, and Goblin.
Wow, very nice.
Look
Yeah,
at you,
because-
very
because
accomplished.
Hey, stand by.
My class and my race, I was able to choose 3 extra.
You spent a lot of time in Wizard College.
I'll say that you are able to hear some loud shouting in
Goblish.
Goblin from a ways away. It's hard for you to make out the specific words, but you can at least recognize that someone is speaking in Goblin, and
It's almost certainly called Goblish.
you can hear that
Sorry.
the anxiety is being represented in whatever they're saying, right, in terms of the tone, but you can't make out the specific words from where you are.
How common is Goblin? Because I speak Common.
That's not common.
Goblin is not common equals English.
I know, I'm kidding. And it's...
All right, Squawk, it is your turn.
Okay, so he sees Jason. So what are these other goblins doing that I can see?
So the goblins near you, directly to your north, they're like actually just digging with the music. Like they're tapping their foot, bouncing their head. They're liking that. The goblins to the southeast are hoisting their spears up and starting to take a battle-like stance, getting pretty concerned.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna
the
switch
goblins
my
up to the northeast are just kind of like moving into formation, just following the others. They haven't done anything else.
So I'm going to switch into like the sitar solo version of this, really rocking out as I cast dancing lights to help with this performance, and I'm going to fly up in the air and kind of like keep playing and like rock out and do like my sitar solo, and keep working my way north to kind of this area to try to keep this as many of the goblins focused on me rocking out as jamming out on my sitar as possible.
Okay, so you make it there, and the other goblins kind of turn
like a Jewel song now, or
yeah.
Dreams last for so long.
Mike knows all the words.
Yes, all the words by saying "dreams last for so long." That is how Jewel Mayer is just saying that over and over again.
All right, so you make it there, and the goblins directly in front of you look a little surprised at first, and then a little disappointed as you start to flap. Then you get into the solo, and they are really into it. And like you see one of them like starts headbanging, his mask slips off, and he has to like hurry and put it back on. And they turn around and are watching you as you fly over and you land. And you've definitely got more of the attention of the ones to the northeast as well. They're paying attention to you, but the ones to the southeast kind of look up in your direction, but they're not paying. They're still focused to the west.
Okay. Does that count as an action that what I did? Because what I would like to do is, knowing that my party's here and knowing what's going on, is I want to ready my action to be able to just like play an epic solo to cast like Thunderblast as my, if shit goes wrong between their turn and my turn, I want to be able to just like cast my spell to knock them all back.
So you've got 6 seconds on your turn, and you wanted to play an epic solo.
That's
so,
good.
Mediocre solo at best.
Okay. No, then that's fine. Then that's okay.
Okay. All right. So Orvex.
Like
Orvex.
Just saying. Just saying.
Starts to head over to Jason.
Yeah,
and
just saying. Look who's in there.
just do it. Just do it.
So Orvex starts.
I can take it. I got a wall in front of me.
And Orvex goes, Jason, look over there.
What am I looking at? What's he pointing at?
He's pointing at the goblins that are looking at you guys.
Yeah, I see those. Thank you for that.
It's like my son, like my 5-year-old.
Hey, Dad, look.
All right, Dorben, welcome back.
Muted.
You're on mute.
Sorry, so
You got Sunfist?
we are
Can you
being
send-
aggressed by this group, I assume.
You guys kind of just showed up and like saw them marching by and decided to drop in.
Okay, cool. That's good. I am going to. Oh, sorry, I gotta check this.
While he's doing that, I just realized that I ordered like 45 minutes ago, and I forgot that I did a T-shirt that said "Wanted: Schrodinger's cat, dead and alive."
Nice.
I
I'm
bought
gonna
my
move.
son today a T-shirt that has a right triangle on it, and word bubble coming out of it, going, "All right, all right, all right."
I want an adult version of that shirt.
I got it at Target. They might
It was
have it.
very expensive for a T-shirt, but I'm glad that I bought it. I want to
All right, yeah, you're good. I got you, Andy.
And until we fight anything, and I'd like to. Is my stealth roll? That's my action.
That is because you're taking the hide action here. Unless you can do that as a bonus, I'm not sure.
I can. Let me see if I can do that.
Yeah, rogues
Yeah.
can typically do that.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, then you can ready an action.
So I'm gonna ready an action that if any of these these are orcs, so goblins.
The goblins.
If any of these goblins sort of aggress onto Squawk, I'd like to hit them with a crossbow bolt.
Okay. All right. So that's it for you. Let's see. Jason, you're up. So you see you can only see a few of these goblins all to the east. And they are making somewhat aggressive stance, motions towards you.
I'd like to, ostensibly just sort of kind of be digging the music, but I would also like to ready an action that if any of them gets to within melee range, that I would attack.
Did you skip me on that one? Sorry.
Oh, I must have. Sorry. Sorry. All right, let's go to Gordon first. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So Squawk's belting a solo right now as this is happening.
He is. That's right.
All right, then I'm gonna.
And you can hear it. It's a little muffled from where you are, but yeah.
And there. I'm gonna use my action to dash.
Okay.
Try to get basically into this, like, kind of behind this. Yeah, like
here.
Yeah, like right, almost in this bush right here.
Okay.
Hopefully they can't see me there, but yeah. Is that a tree or a bush? I can't really tell from this angle. It's hard.
It's a tree, but there's some undershrubbery. Like there's some bush and tree.
They're into the undershrubbery.
I'd like to hide in the undershrubbery, like kind of squat a little bit, but I know I use my action to dash, so I can't really,
Who has ghillie suits and who needs ghillie suits?
As best as you can tell, nobody noticed you. Or getting there. Okay. Jason.
Yeah. Okay. So I would like to just sort of appear to be just sort of casually enjoying the music, but yeah. But as a ready action, should anyone come within melee range, I'd like to carve them up like a Christmas turkey.
This isn't where I park my car.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
For how good I'm dancing.
Well, because you're preparing your weapon while pretending to enjoy the music.
Well, I mean, I'm very fast, so I assume they're still just cheap. But okay.
Like they're watching you to see. Okay.
Okay, that went fine, right? That went regular. I mean, no one would expect a guy that looks like to be a good dancer in the first place. So let's keep that in mind.
So okay, so you keep dancing while prepping in case anybody comes within melee range.
Yeah, just sort of dancing, but periodically my hands go near the scabbards,
Yeah.
like sort of bushwhackery dance.
All right, Zigmundo.
I'm gonna move 20 feet south.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna move another 5 feet to my northeast on that pile of rubble.
Okay.
And
What's the range on that bad boy?
please, please see my previous statement in the chat. And I see this guy at 65 feet to my east.
Yep, you can see him.
And
Goosh!
and I throw a fireball straight at him.
Yes!
Okay.
Fireball situation! Finally
All right,
achieved
all right.
after
What is the
many
radius on that
years.
thing?
It's
Radius is 20 feet?
so that means a squawk is barely in the radius of it.
Yep, it's everybody but this goblin up here. Well, all the goblins except for this guy, so he's safe.
Correct. I think
So
So he's the one who sits there and is like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god! What is that
All right.
meteor?
So
Okay.
hang on.
Can you post fireball, please?
I'd like to
Look
roll
out!
real quick.
Okay.
I mean,
One second. Okay. So as I creep up to the top of the mound, I hear the
I am
anxiety,
Goblin.
and I interpret the anxiety as thank you, Nick.
Well, that's a good save.
That's a good save.
and I interpret the anxiety as being from my knowledge of the culture to not be something that I want to deal with. So because of a deep-rooted hatred, I grab all the energy in me and I throw a fireball straight at the first goblin I see to the east, which is that.
Yep.
horse.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Yeah. Go ahead and just roll the damage for fireball.
Because of your racism.
does my deck save? I already made my deck save, right?
You did.
Yeah.
Or I
you made
already
the
made my
dex
dex
save.
roll.
Yes. you did.
Sorry, he said he was casting fireball, so I knew I had to do that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna take half that, Nick. So you're gonna take.
Run it down or up.
I think it doesn't go.
Party members are down, villains are up.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would be nice.
I think it's up.
I think it's up. I'm pretty sure it's the same for every. So that'd be 14
It's
damage.
typically up is good for your damage spells.
Okay. So.
Is that roll for all the goblins or a goblin?
Yeah, that's all the goblins.
Okay,
I mean, we
so
only have that
do-
situation under control.
Man,
Who are you
All
gonna
of
do with the goblins?
I think you should roll individually.
Perform a free
for each
concert and
goblin.
we all peace out? Like
We-
what the hell's happening there?
We'd have to roll individually.
No. The so sorry. The no, you were asking. No, the damage is for all goblins. Yes, they would have to individually make a dex save.
Cool.
No,
They
what
would
I
have
was
to do
asking was
individual
what was the
saves.
plan for performing a free concert? Like
Bam! So many goblins gone.
The reason they didn't make dex saves is because they had less than what would matter.
Less
So-
than the 14 that was required to
less than
live.
Wait.
So this fireball.
That's
lands-
what fireball's for.
That is what it is for. Not for killing us. For killing
see-
many goblins.
You basically see these like goblins like disappear, and you see
Take
their
that kill count.
kind of hang in the air for a second before clattering
Jesus.
tink, 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 all over. The one goblin boss with the tall mask takes a lot of damage. You can see his side scarred. He shouts in pain and anger. And you see the other goblin to the north yelp in surprise and turn his ass around and start to hoof it in the other direction.
What
Holy
about Captain Goblin?
Christ.
Does he want a piece of Jason?
Hello, friend.
Does he want a little chunk? Because I'm no longer dancing, if it matters.
I think we met your cousins.
It's not your
Jason.
turn.
Jason has ceased to dance.
I have to stop opening beers at 11:30 on Sunday nights.
All right, Sigmundo. Is that the end of your turn?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was implied. Yes, thus ends the
Is that all you're gonna do?
Seriously, is that all you're gonna kill? Is slaughter about 30 goblins?
All right, so
Couldn't make it 32.
hoofs it up this direction. He's gonna take his dash.
Oh no, get him. Get him.
I am not recto anymore.
He gets there.
You can take it.
I
This one is you know what, he's gonna run too. So he will get here, and then his dash get to there. All right, so basically, as this happens, the two goblins, like one of them just takes The boss kind of with a tall mask looks at you and screams and looks around and just is like, fuck it, and starts running. Squawk.
I'm gonna shoot him with my bow.
Okay. He's gonna have partial cover here. But that'll do it.
Whoa!
Damn.
Why is it jeweled? Oh, that's right.
So go ahead and roll your damage, Nick.
You're all
You
fancy.
remember?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So that does it. So you like the arrow flies there, goes through the back of his head.
As he
You see
shakes
the
his
mask.
fist, at me, I want to make the fist like stick to his head. And he's like, his head and fall over.
Plunk.
Okay, fine. That's what happens. It
Like,
sticks
put you
into
out
his
of your
mask. Sticks into his mask, and he falls down dead.
Nice.
I got one kill.
Orvex comes up to Jason's like, I heard an explosion. What happened?
Oh, Jason is laughing his ass off.
Look at that ruler. Holy shit.
All right, Dorban.
Jason is just pointing to the charred corpses and just having a good old.
So I'm just gonna skip past everybody unless they think they can do something.
I can
Oh, I
do
think I
something.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get after it right here.
Okay.
All right. So which direction bearing these walls?
Troy tried
which
really
direction-
hard to skip over this part.
And be like, can we not? And be like, no, we cannot not. I'm definitely kidding.
So you'd actually have to go one south, like that. This is a wall right here. To your east, so you
So
can
if
get
I
there.
go 25 right there,
Yep.
that gives me.
This is a wall here, so
That's
you can't
that's
see
fine. What
anything.
kind of cover would I have with that? If I took a shot. from here?
50 according to Squawk.
You can't hit. No. From
Squawk's
well, so
flying.
squawks up on the wall. That's the difference.
You
You
can't
Alright,
see
I'm
it.
gonna take
see
it
them at
here.
all.
That's
You're
what-
looking at
I'm just gonna do
a
this.
wall.
I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna take my bonus action, or I'm gonna take my my cunning action, my bonus,
Yep.
which gives me dash,
It's
Yep.
very.
and I'm gonna move
so-
to I don't know. Let's call it right there because I get another 30.
there.
That should
The
get
rogues are like, I get an extra.
Now he's gonna have some cover. So he'll have
That's
less
fine.
AC.
My feet lets me ignore up to 3/4 cover.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Sick. Okay.
So
Nice.
disgusting.
All right.
And I'm gonna take a shot
God
at him.
damn it. I was going to actually damage something too.
Another 22.
No sneak attacks. Sorry, no sneak attacks. man.
Unfortunately, this one goes
Yeah, missed.
and just barely goes over his head into the trees beyond.
Oh.
Barely by inches.
All right.
You had
That's
the
the end right
murder.
Just to expedite this, can I move to there and Eldritch Bolt him twice?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
God, warlocks are so awesome. I just.
Ugh.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Steve. Well, not when they do that,
All
Meryl.
right.
What are you doing?
There you go. There you go. All right. All right. And so the last warlock, the last guy, the two bolts of energy, one goes hits him in the legs and he drops down to the ground on all fours. And the other one blows his head off.
Yep. Sounds right.
All right.
Hey, killer solo, by the way.
Yeah, that song was great. I loved it.
Good job,
Okay,
Birdman.
Can't get it out of my head now.
Get this.
Yep.
You
I
guys
like the
are-
finishing act where all the goblins exploded.
Sweet combo.
That's the best crescendo possible.
that was one hell of a show, I gotta say.
The pyrotechnics were amazing.
They were incredible. Far beyond what I'm used to seeing, which is just a dude with a candle.
Okay, so you guys, you look around you, see a bunch of completely charred goblin corpses.
I'm gonna go take my arrow back out of the fist, out of the shaman, for lack of a better word, the leader, and loot
Okay.
his pockets. But I just take my arrow out and put it back in its quiver.
Yeah, can we just assume
Yeah,
we
you-
loot
you-
all the pockets?
Well, you pull that off. You look at the goblins, and they don't seem to be carrying much of value.
Okay.
They're more tribal.
I would like to take a short rest while they're looting and just sort of chuckle and think about the weirdness of life for a while.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's all.
How did I end up here?
I feel like, yesterday I'm kicking people into the lava. Today I'm watching goblins explode. Life
Actually,
is
earlier
crazy.
today, you were kicking people into the lava.
Yeah, that's true.
this morning. Yeah,
Alright.
such a weird. One of the weirder days of the last
Yeah.
month.
So it's around lunchtime at this point.
So can we assume short rest and then we head to that temple?
Yes, exactly.
Hey,
Okay, so you guys get a short rest. Now, how are you getting there from here?
Oh, hang on a second. Real
We're
quick.
gonna walk southwest. We shut our flight if we want.
1 second.
Oh wait, plus the Constitution.
You didn't take that much damage, Squawk, right? 14? That's not. Could have been a lot worse.
I take that all
um,
the time. I take that walking through the traps I already triggered. No big deal.
So I
Every
give,
game you
I
play,
give
that's your role.
Squawk a healing potion, and I go, sorry, it was gotta do what you gotta do.
That's a sacrifice I'm
Squawk,
willing to
like,
make.
Shakes his feathers and wipes and pulls off some of the singedness of him, and just mumbles something. And
Well,
flies away.
do you want to use it right now or not? I mean,
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You already
yeah.
used it.
So you get to roll a 2d4 plus 2.
So is that your welcome in bird? Or thank you in bird?
Usually it's crumpled up breadcrumbs.
Dude killed 12 goblins with one attack.
I know. Jason occasionally, for the next 12 hours, Jason will occasionally just go, whoom. That's the equivalent of a viral video in the D&D universe.
Remember this week, don't forget to
Yeah.
to vote for Zigmundo. For
It's the baby shark of D&D happenings.
baby.
Okay, guys. So
All right, let's move on here.
How do you want to proceed south?
Back to the building we were trying to get to. This guy.
Yeah, but
Do we
how?
want to go on the highway or do we
go?
want to go like
would go-
alongside the highway?
South 2 blocks, then back toward the highway.
No, let's just go straight there. We're just south.
Yeah.
Is this
Walk
the
right
thing
through the
south?
I say we
Yeah.
work our way through the buildings and don't go on the highway.
Nick, would you like to fly straight there?
Yes.
Okay, you fly straight there. Everybody else, you're going separately because you actually have to
No,
walk.
I feel like there's
through
nothing there
streets.
because he granted Nick the ability to go
Yeah.
right.
I feel
Or
like
he was like, "Fuck you, Nick. I'm gonna kill you. Do you want to fly straight there?" Yes. By the way,
Or
you.
it's like my last attempt failed.
by the way,
Nick, you're going.
surface to air missile, you're dead.
I wanted to say
Walked an
that.
air missile.
No, yeah, we just walk. I would say we walk through the buildings. Don't get on the highway where we can be seen and get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're following the red path that somebody just drew.
That was me.
I like it.
Sure.
Okay, so
We could also
We'll call
Nope,
it the
we're there.
Squawk,
Go this way.
Squawk Murder Row.
check out this area right here.
No, I don't like it. I don't like that crumbly. I feel
Mm-mm.
like only bad things happen.
Google suggests this way, but you can also go this way, which adds 5 minutes.
You're
but-
right. Yes, that's the.
there a
word.
metro?
So you guys arrive to see the corpse of a bird with red feathers.
Oh,
No,
damn it.
No. Wasn't that our
Okay,
bird?
so-
46.
I take some of the feathers and put them in my hair decoratively.
So nobody died, but I am going to suggest that we stop it, and next week we can pick up to see what you guys found.
Okay. Do I still get my hair feathers though? Just for
No,
That's a good
no.
medicine roll, by the way. I just want to say.
that's.
You can
pretty
find
great.
some burnt feathers back at the goblin site.
Nope, don't want them. Burnt feathers are gross.
Yeah.
Smells like dog hair.
I can
Alright.
barely tell that they're feathers.
All right, so I feel
I
like
glued
we
them to
covered
a hat.
like a good quarter of Omu right now. Like after whatever happens to us immediately next week, I feel like
Are we
we're-
level 7?
You're not.
No, we have not done a quarter of Omu then.
We killed a whole shit ton of goblins.
so many goblins.
No,
Well,
it's
we're
milestone
on
based.
goblins.
It's not XP based.
Yeah, but
I
how
will-
many goblins must one man kill before you can call him a man?
I bet.
will
I
also
bet if
point
we.
out that, so while you have covered, well, you've been to a lot of this quarter. I will note that there's at least one building that you went to that does have a stone in it that you do not have.
The one where we all got killed.
The golems, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet if we. That's what I'm saying. I bet if we got that stone, we'd level up.
But I'm
But we
willing
might need to
check
level up to
out
get that
other
stone.
But
places,
we would
right?
also probably die. So
Yeah.
there's that.
We might want to level up just
You
to
know,
get that
if
stone.
you want to go get it, you go in first.
I mean,
Okay?
I
'Cause
could
I'm not
turn
going
that
in
into a
first.
pit of darkness, but
I don't think level 7 is really going to help us out that much.
I don't think the golems need to see you to murder you.
I bet it's going to help us more than you think. Because some
If they
people
do
get
have
level
to
4
see you,
spells at 7, right?
Let me actually verify. What do I get?
What do I get at 7? I don't even know. Oh, another maneuver. I can do another maneuver at 7.
I get either second wind or other stuff. I can reanimate the dead.
Or other stuff.
Depends on which class I want to level.
Well, you getting 8 hit points in a turn.
Oh
is
yeah,
like
I get
good,
I
man.
get 1 level 4 spell.
Ooh.